Welcome. Welcome to America. We're here today in New York to announce a series of events that will begin on a purple day in December in the year 2010. Welcome to America is best described as what we've all been waiting for. I will serve as Master of Ceremonies for multiple nights of entertainment that will feature some of the best artists this country has to offer. We're talking about a list which includes, but not limited to, the legendary Maceo Parker, my favorite new artist, Janelle Monáe, from Minneapolis, Mint Condition, the new face of jazz and classical music, Esperanza Spalding, and one who's been around for a while but still continues to haunt me to this day, Cassandra Wilson. Sinbad, Layla Hathaway, Sheila E., and of course Graham Central Station are just some of the names that have agreed to showcase their talents along with the new power generation and I. Without giving too much away, anyone that has ever been to one of our concerts, inclusive of Stephen Hill, knows they know what time it is. So you need to come early, you need to come often, because every time we play, there's always something new. No concert is ever the same. I got a lot of hits. Bring friends, bring your children, and bring foot spray, because it's going to be funky. Welcome to America. Peace.
WTF, everybody! Welcome to Funkatopia. Let me fix this camera here. See, this is part of the issue with being live. Welcome to Funkatopia, WTF, and also welcome to America. Today, we're going to be having a great time tonight. I hope you guys are going to stick around because we got a night full of fun. We're going to be talking about Welcome to America. It's the 5-year anniversary of the release of this album. Obviously, this album was released posthumously, but it's the 5-year anniversary of this album on this Thursday. So starting at 8 o'clock here, we got about 7 minutes. Right at the top of the hour, we're going to bring in some special guests that are going to be joining us. We're going to be walking through Welcome to America and talking about this album track by track. As for those who watch the show on a regular basis or that don't, the show that you're listening to right now is called Funkatopia Live. And if you miss any part of it, you can tune in on Facebook.com/Welcome to Funkatopia, or you can also go to YouTube.com/Funkatopia, or you can listen on iHeartRadio, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. But of course, you're not going to have the visual component with the audio, but you can have it anywhere you want. And you can also download the Funked Up app. Just go to the Apple Store or Google Play and look for Funked Up, FUNKEDUP. And we have a 24/7 funk radio station that is both ASCAP licensed and global music rights licensed. So you know that when an artist gets played, an artist gets paid. And you can also listen to the podcast if you miss anything there as well. Also, for some of the OGs that come on the show, my co-host, who is normally here every Tuesday night right along with me, is the NPG drumming legend, Mr. Michael Bland. He is not going to be joining us tonight because his schedule is just super, super crazy, and he won't be with us next week either, primarily because they're doing a lot of rehearsals for Soul Asylum, which is going to be doing an acoustic show up there in the Minneapolis area somewhere. I'm not exactly sure exactly where. If somebody in the chat room knows exactly where that show is going to be, please let folks know, because there's a lot of Soul Asylum fans out here. Matter of fact, we're going to be talking about a Soul Asylum song tonight in the form of Stand Up and Be Strong that appears on this Welcome to America album. So we'll be talking about that as well. Man, a lot of fun tonight. Again, we're going to be going through Welcome to America, the album chat, and we're going to be talking about it track by track with special guests. Morris Hayes is going to be joining us, plus Shelby J is going to be joining us, plus Elisa Fiorillo is going to be joining us. So all of them are going to be joining in and kind of giving us a little bit of stories about tracks and the different things and whatnot that this album has to offer, and maybe some background stories. I hear Elisa's got some story to share about a raccoon. I don't know. We'll figure out. I see her laughing in the green room right now, but we are going to figure out exactly what that's all about. And anyways, I don't know if it's attached to a song or not. We'll find out before we break into it. But man, I hope you guys had a good week. Again, we're going to be starting the show at the top of the hour at 8 o'clock. So we've got about 4 minutes to go, 4 or 5 minutes to go. We'll wait till everybody's here in the green room, in the backstage area, and then we'll bring them in. But for right now, of course, we got some items to talk about beforehand. A lot of you are Patreon supporters. And if you are, thank you so much. This is how we kind of stay on the air. In order for us to be able to pay these ASCAP and global music rights licensing fees, we have to have support. And a lot of you do that through Patreon, patreon.com/Funkatopia, patreon.com/Funkatopia, Funkatopia. And when you guys do that, it helps us to pay those licensing fees. But what I started to do this month, actually, is I'm doing a major giveaway. And I'll be doing a giveaway tonight. After the album chat, I literally have a wheel of names that I'm going to be sharing with you. That is all the Patreon supporters, and depending on which level, you'll get more entries than others. But all your names are in there, and we are doing a drawing for not one but 2 books tonight. First of which, obviously, is Emancipation: Words and Pictures, a really, really cool tour book that Scott works and design from Steve Park, Jeff Katz, Nicole, Randy St. Nicholas. I mean, it's really, really cool, beautiful thing. And of course, brand new Prince Black, White, Color. That's right. The full friggin' monster book from Steve Park that's just came out. It's a monster. Remember last week I did this? Yeah, it's huge. It's a very, very thick book. So it's going to be awesome. And tonight, we're going to do a drawing, and one of you guys is going to win this. And if you're like, dang it, I wish I would have known, it's cool. It's fine. You can actually join patreon.com/Funkatopia and be in a drawing for next month, where I'm going to be doing, I'll unveil what I'm going to be doing later. But I will tell you that it does include, this is just one of the 2 things, it does include a sealed 7-inch Prince Welcome to America single with that rocky Welcome to America with Dreamer version on it. And of course it's right here. That's one of the 2 things that is going to be up for a drawing. So if you want to get in for the drawing for that, head to patreon.com/Funkatopia and make sure you get in on that as well, because you don't want to miss out. You just don't want to miss out. I was on my laptop. I'm on my desktop right now. I do have my laptop going over here. For those that don't know, I think last week I shared with you that my desktop would kind of just randomly go into sleep mode. To kind of prep for that, I do have the laptop sitting over here. And if I have to jump ship and come over here, then that's what I'll do. But for right now, everything seems to be okay. And we'll check it from there. And again, Michael Bland will be out tonight, and he's also out next week. Next week, you probably want to tune in as well. Next week, I'll be welcoming the one and only Andre Simone will be joining us next week. He's got a brand new album called The Resurrection of Funk that's going to be coming out, and he is going to be joining us, and we're going to be talking about that album, maybe sharing a bunch of clips and whatnot. I don't know. Just telling you, you might want to be here. Next week, Andre Simone's going to be here. And again, tonight, after the album chat, we will be doing that giveaway for the Steve Park books, his brand new book, and of course, the Emancipation one. And of course, we got a couple of other things to mention here. Happy birthday today. Happy heavenly birthday to the one and only Bonnie Boyer. It's Bonnie Boyer's birthday today, born this day in 1958. So, man, definitely, absolutely, positively, miss her being a part of the mix because she was such a force to be reckoned with. What a voice, just amazing. And so definitely happy birthday to Bonnie Boyer, whose birthday is today. It's today. Gotta love that. Also, they kind of dropped some news. Well, I find this a little bit unusual that I didn't see it. Somebody double check and let me know, but I didn't see it on the official Prince account, and I didn't see it. I don't think I saw it in the official Paisley Park account, but I did see that there's something coming in spring of 2027. Did you guys miss it? Did you see it? Well, let's look together. If you missed it, here, take a look. Okay, I kind of feel like awesome news. First off, let me go ahead and say Prince Purple Rain live on Broadway is going to be bad to the bone. Let me just go ahead and say that right out of the gate. It's going to be bad to the bone. But I think I was caught a little bit off guard by it because I guess I heard about a jukebox musical. I don't know if that's that. Obviously, that was Chris Collins. It was a little bit of and I did the Broadway play that was in Minneapolis, and there's been a lot of rewriting, a lot of twists and turns with that. It's going to be interesting to hear a little bit more information about that. Maybe we're going to try to get Chris on the show to talk about that a little bit more. But anyways, we have already gone past, so we're going to go ahead and break into it right now. Are you guys ready? I want to make sure that everybody's ready because we're going to have a very, very fun time tonight, and I need to bring in our special guest. Tonight, we have a special night planned with a live album chat for Welcome to America. This Thursday, 2 days from now, will be the 5-year anniversary for this album, which I can't believe it's already been 5 years since this album dropped. And for those that don't know, I've done album chats for pretty much every single one of Prince's albums. And if I can get artists on that have performed on the albums, all the better. We always have a really, really great time when we do that. Tonight is no different because I have along for the ride tonight. Y'all can put your hands together whenever you like. I'm gonna introduce them one by one. First off, I've got the opportunity to meet this young lady in Atlanta. Actually, two of the young ladies that are here tonight, the only two young ladies that are here tonight, I got to meet in Atlanta, and I think I've tried to stay in touch with them as much as I possibly can. But first, let me welcome the one and only Elisa Fiorillo in the house. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you? Good.
I'm doing fantastic. You look fantastic. I mean,
I don't age over.
I see. I guess not. Unbelievable. And obviously, my sister from another mister that I have to bring in here. I chat with her quite often, and she's actually, I don't know if she has any room to do it anymore, but she is she crochets these unbelievable blankets, and they're just like incredible. I don't know if she has any more room for it or not, but we're not going to be talking about that tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shelby J.
Hey everybody.
How are you doing, dear?
I am so good. I can't believe I'm a little jet lagged, but I'm okay.
Yeah, you are always on the move. You're always doing your thing. When did you get back?
Yesterday, about 5 p.m. I landed from Austria.
How many hours difference is that from where you are now?
It's 6 hours difference. So right now it's like 2 a.m. there. So, yeah. I'm a soldier. That's what I do.
Oh my gosh. And then of course, the man, the myth, the legend. Man, I got a lot of questions for this young man. Let me just go ahead and just say a lot of questions for this young man. The one, the only, Mr. Morris Hayes.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey.
Hey,
Oh,
Mo.
man.
Hey,
I love the fact that I'm able to see I haven't seen the inside of your new studio setup. I mean, the last studio that I saw from you, unfortunately, was burned up, and which was
oh
horrible.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
in 2008, just like a couple of years before this. Is that how long it was?
But no, that the studio fire was like 2019.
Oh,
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah, so that's when
Actually, I
that
meant to say
was.
2018. So I meant to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, it's so this is I got another studio in the back, but this is my little writing lab where I kind of like do the little writing Genesis stuff, the drum stuff, and all the other vocal booth, all the other things in the back studio. So
Wow.
that's the other little spot.
That's
But
nice.
yeah, man, good to see everybody.
Hey.
And I'm hoping that all of you can actually see the chat room over on the right-hand side. And if you see
Yeah.
the chats, there may be some questions that go by. Obviously, with me being a one-man show tonight, because Michael Bland is out doing rehearsal with Soul Asylum for their acoustic show up there in Minneapolis. So normally I give him a chance to talk and I could switch some things around. But you're all good. So tonight, again, as I said, is a very, very special night because it is the 5-year anniversary of Welcome to America in 2 days from now. Can any of you even wrap your head around the fact that this has been 5 years?
No. Doesn't seem like it, It doesn't seem like it's been 5 years, But the timing is just something with everything happening now. I know we're probably going to talk about that, but it's very prophetic. I can just say that much. Very prophetic.
Yeah, there was a lot to it, and obviously the track list that was chosen for this, which we'll be talking about, is just unbelievably well put together and thought out. From thematically and just kind of how it just kind of goes through the socioeconomic. It touches on a little bit of everything, which is it was very, very well done. This album was originally recorded in 2010, and I guess it was potentially going to be released as a possible follow-up to 2010, the album 2010. And then the Welcome to America tour, which ran from December 2010 to May 2011, would have served, I would imagine, as a perfect backdrop for this album to sell it at the merch table or whatever. And if it would have dropped there, it would have been his 36th studio album, which is unbelievable to me.
That's
but
crazy.
It is the first posthumous full album of previously unreleased material, but the 6th, which I was trying to wrap my head around, the 6th posthumous album that has been released since he's been gone. Because you had keep in mind that in that 5 years before this was released, you had Purple Rain Deluxe, Prince Piano and a Microphone 1983, Originals 1999 Super Deluxe, and Sign of the Times Super Deluxe. That was like 5 full albums that were released before this one hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then don't forget, you had Prince and the Revolution Live, the re-release of the Versace Experience, His Majesty's Pop Life, and there was some collections in there too, Forever and Anthology or whatever. It's crazy, but I guess what I'm trying to wrap my head around is obviously, well, first let's talk about the all of y'all's involvement in this album as a whole. To start, it is Prince on all vocals and instruments. You had primarily, for the majority of this album, you had Chris Coleman and Tal Wilkenfeld were
bass and drum.
the primary core group. But Morris Hayes, you also did keyboards and percussion on some songs as well, and did a bunch of production. Shelby and Liv and Elisa, you guys were all over this album, and rightfully so. I mean, you guys all deserve to be celebrated. But I guess this is where the questions start, because this album was finished. And not to fast forward too much, but according to Tal, he was done with it and happy with it. And at one point, he even invited Tal Wilkenfeld and Chris Coleman to the studio to hear the finished product.
Mm-hmm.
And he was basically telling him, hey, thank you for, helping me get the sound out of my system. Thank you for helping me out. But even though he liked it, it never got released.
Mm-mm.
So the question would start, I guess, with you, Morris.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start here. What production work did you do on the album originally, the one that was sitting on the shelf?
Okay. First off, the actual first thing is Tal, who you're saying for Tal. She told me the correct pronunciation of her name is Tull, like Jethro Tull.
Oh,
Tull,
easy enough to remember. All right.
So like Jethro Tull, which I've always called her Tal myself. I was like, hey Tal, and she's like, well, it's Tull. So like she's like Jethro Tull, and I was like, oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
So that's a little tidbit for you. Moving forward, Tull Wilkenfeld.
It's in
Anyway.
here now. It's locked in.
Well, for me, when I got worried about the record, Prince had called me at home and it was like, hey, I want you to, come by Paisley real quick, and I want you to hear something. And I'm working on something. I said, well, yeah, sure. That's, I've gotten that call before, so I drove over. But when I got to Paisley, he was sitting out in, I called it the little Batmobile, his little Cadillac convertible. He had a little 2-seater. And he was sitting out in the parking lots when I pulled in the back parking lot, Shelby's favorite area of the Paisley, the back parking lot. You can talk about that later, Shell. But,
There's a story there, I guess.
you can talk about that later. But so he was sitting in his car, so I just got out of my car and hopped in his car, and then he starts playing me the stuff, And it's pretty raw, It's just him and Tull and Chris Coleman. Doing the thing and the girls. And I'm listening to it and I'm like, oh, okay. And, we're just going song by song and you're just playing and talking about it and blah, blah, blah. And then he told me, he said, I'll cut to the chase. He just said, well, look, I just want you to, just do your thing, overproduce it, do all the things, and anything, if it's too much, I'll take it away. I'll remove what I don't need. You just overdo it and I'll fix it. I'm like, cool, okay, cool. And so this was all weird because, typically Prince liked to work at Paisley, like to keep it kind of in-house and, give me a whole lot of stuff to take home, like homework and do it like that. At my studio, it's like then he's releasing songs to me. So it was a significant thing for me that, that he trusts me, like what he just gave me the CD.
Right.
And I ripped the stuff off the CD, put it in my DAW. And then did my thing. I just took a day, and every day I just picked a song and then worked on it and took the song to him the next day. And I just did that until I got through, I think about six or so songs. And so that was the move, and it's just like I would just take a song, take it to the studio, knock it out, bring it back, and every day it was like, oh man, this is cool. And we get to the things and we got through the things. But there was a few songs that I told him I just was like when she comes, I just said, Prince, I don't even want to mess with that, man. I said, that's Claire Fisher. I said, it's so good, man. I said, and I made a joke. I said, they're gonna kick you out of the witness protection program over the Jehovah's Witness protection program over there for this song, because this one is some old Prince. I said, this is old Prince right here. And he laughed about it just like we doing, and because I call it the Jehovah's Witness protection program over there. But I told him, I said, it's so good, Prince. I said, I don't want to ruin it. I said, this is Claire Fisher all day, man. Just let Claire do it and call it a day, man. It's just great. It's just great. And then I, that was what I felt like I could really do something with. The songs that I worked on. It's what I kind of felt like I could, do something with. And that's what happened, and we just went and we did that. And every day I just brought him some stuff in until we got we got it done.
So was there ever any talk regarding why this album was shelved? I mean, did it just get put on the shelf and obviously we know that he wrote a lot of material and there was so much stuff back in the vault that this was probably just another, just outro thing. But was there anything?
The girls can tell you their thing. I'm gonna tell you what I thought, because just my years with Prince and just kind of seeing how he moves. this is what I thought, and when I spoke to Toll, then it kind of confirmed what I was thinking. My thing is, I thought that he was putting together a new MPG. It was going to be another rendition. He's got Toll, he's got Chris Coleman, who all of they're just killing, and and he's probably going to end up getting Cassandra or somebody. It just, I felt like this is going to be a new thing because he recorded the whole record with this crew. And that's kind of with how he did things. It's like, okay, he's like, when Bernardo came and when, then it was these different factions of the NPG that happened over, and then he carries over like the singers. He always carried them over. He would carry me over until to the point where he didn't. And so it was just that kind of a vibe to me. And I just said, what would make him not do this project is because I thought it was very cool. I thought the music was poignant. When I was sitting in the car listening to it, we were just talking about every song, and it was just like, man, I'm like, Prince, well, man, you going in like this? You're getting deep with this politics stuff, man. You going in, and and I'm like, it's heavy, and I'm like, and the girls are singing, Shelby's doing it, so I'm like, man, I'm like, okay. And then we got to the one Born to Die, and I'm like, this. I said, bro, that's Curtis Mayfield all day. And he told me the story about Dr. West and how he felt like, he was watching YouTube and was watching Dr. West. They're very good friends, and Dr. West is like, he's old school. He's from around the way, and he talking about Curtis. He said, now Prince is Prince. He's a bad dude, but he's no Curtis Mayfield. And Prince was like, really? Oh, Prince was like, okay, well, we will see. That was his thing. And so he said,
my beer.
So he told me that's how that song came about. And I told him, I said, I got you, bro. I know where you're at with it. And I went and did my thing, and he loved it. It's like Prince, that day, I have two moments in music, and I'm gonna let the girls talk, I promise, because I talk too much. There's two moments in music where I got paid compliments twice, and that was like astounding for me, like off-puttingly astounding. And that was one of the times when I did Born to Die. Prince was like, he heard it, and then he's like, Duke Ellington, and he grabbed me by the shoulder, was shaking me like my head's going like this, and he's like, man, this is great. This is Duke Ellington, and he's just shaking me like that, like a rag doll. And the other time is I did a 3-song demo with this kid Smokey Norfolk, and when he was like 12, and it got to Maurice White's desk somehow, and Maurice White called me and said to the effect that he said, who's playing saxophone on this track, a little 4-track? I did it on a 4-track, and I said, oh, Maurice, that's me. I just played it on my Roland sample. He said, man, let me tell you something. He said, don't nobody trick me with a horn sample. He said, that's one of the greatest horn solos with a keyboard I ever heard. Wow. Those two, Prince and Maurice White, when Prince did that to me, that was like, man, I went home like walking 10 feet in the air when Prince said that to me. He wasn't real thick all the time with compliments, but when he gave you one like that, you don't forget it. It just was like, I went home feeling like $2 million in some ham sandwiches. It was great, So, but that's that. That's how that all came about. But that's what I think it was. It was going to be a project that probably, but I think Toll was in a situation where she was playing with Jeff Beck. She was doing the thing, and she just like for people like her and Rhonda Smith, a lot of folks. Man, they like, yo, I'm working, man. Like, what you want to do? Like, Jubu, like, what you want to do? Like, tell me what's up, and I can look at my schedule. And Prince don't get it. It's like, no, man, we gonna do willy-nilly. We gonna chill. And people like, no. I got dates. I got to know what's happening. And I really think that's what it was, is that she couldn't just drop what she was doing. And so Prince was like, well, then if I can't take it like I want to take it, then I'll shelve it. That's what my assessment was to me.
And for those that don't know, because I want to hear the girls' input on this too, on why they think the album may have been shelved. But before we do that, I want to make sure that you guys know who we are, who we're talking about. First off, we're talking about Toll Wilkenfeld. She played bass with Chick Corea, Jeff Beck, Incubus, Eric Clapton, Herbie Hancock, Toto, Mick Jagger. Prince was obsessed with this girl. How old was she when they recorded this? Like in her teens, wasn't it?
I think late teens, I think.
Yeah, she was like in the late teens, but she was told that Prince and Larry Graham would watch her on the YouTube videos when she was touring with Herbie Hancock, and he reached out to her and asked her some random question like, do you like the drum rolls of Jack DeJohnette? And she's like, of course I do. And then their friendship kind of took off from there, and then they started jamming together in 2008 until one day Prince asked her to find a drummer for the potential trio project, and she's calling multiple drummers to asking them to come and jam with her, but not giving them all the details. So if they say no, they don't even know what they're saying no to. And then, of course, enter somebody else whose name you're going to hear a couple of times would be Chris Coleman. Chris Coleman was drumming for Shaka Khan and Beck and Babyface, and I think New Kids on the Block too, I think.
It's bad.
And basically, she called him and said, you want to jam? And he said, sure, let's do it. And it was never mentioned who the other drummers were that came and jammed with her, but she basically sent all those jam session recordings over to Prince, and Chris was the one that Prince picked. So then they started jamming as a trio, I guess, starting in, I want to say it was December of 2009, I think it was. So that all being said, those are some names that you're going to hear off and on. And of course, you're going to hear us mention Liv Warfield as well. But y'all don't need an introduction to Liv Warfield. She's everywhere all the time. So get back to the question of why you believe that the album might have been shelved. Elisa, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, I can't really get into Prince's head and where he was at.
Yeah,
but
of course, no.
he had a lot to say. And maybe he said some stuff that he was maybe a little unsure of putting out there. You know, like he had a lot to say on this album. So that's the only thing I could think of, because we were doing the Welcome to Canada. We were doing the Welcome to America. We were doing the Welcome to North Carolina. We were welcoming all over the world with no Welcome to America album.
Right. I was just going to say that. It's so strange that you would do that you would do a tour like that, called Welcome to America, and all three of you know, that there is an album sitting in this thing called Welcome to America that would make sense to be sitting at the merch table right now, but you're just like, there's got to be something here. So Shelby, what were your thoughts on that?
Well, I actually just watched a video. There was one show where we actually sang Welcome to America. It was like he did it real funky, and we didn't really perform any of those songs live, but that one we did, and it was over some kind of funky groove. I don't, the clip was somewhere. I watched it like today or yesterday, but I just, like Elisa said, I never try to get into P's head about what he was thinking about the record, but I just think that everything has its time. And maybe he just felt that the messages needed to come out at a certain time, and it wasn't the right time for it, and just probably trusted his gut. I'm guessing, but I'm just feeling it that way. You know, he was always way ahead, so even he would never do anything predictable. Everybody, you know, you put out a record and you promote it, and like you said, the album's right there on the table, and it's, you know, that's predictable, and he was anything but that. So this is, to me, it's very Prince for him to do a whole album and then call a tour the name of the album, but not put the album out.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you mentioned that, because I do actually have it on standby, Shelby. You knew I got your back, right? So let's enjoy just the audio for right now. Let's take a listen. Hold on a second. Let me see.
LA. My name is Prince. I came to party. I don't know about you. Clap your hands, y'all. Show your neighbor what to do. Come on. Where my sisters at? Get over stage. Come on.
Everybody looking for something, but there ain't no place to go. So inside America, the only life I know. Transformation happens each day.
Break it down.
All right, y'all gonna get me in trouble.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna get me in trouble.
No, but I mean, I can only imagine if I was at that concert. It's like, what is that? What is that song? And what is he talking about? Like, what's happening right now? You know?
Yeah, and I think, and the only reason why I did play that, just so you know, it is actually on this 45 right here that was exclusively released on I think you might still be able to pick this up in the print store, maybe, but it's called Welcome to America, which got the Welcome to America. But on the flip side, the B side of this has actually got that Welcome to America that is interpolated with Dreamer. That's what the song was. You guys,
cool.
yeah. So this is one of the we're giving this away next month, but we'll talk about that later. But it exists and it's sealed, and I got it right here. Y'all can listen to it.
Wow.
But yeah, so I always thought that was unusual too, and I guess we can start to migrate into the track list here in just a second. But I still have a couple of questions, really for Morris about the release of this album. The first thing is, we know it's been shelved. Now he's no longer with us. Here it is, a few years later. How does this discussion come up about, okay, we're going to release this album now? I mean, first off, who started the discussion? Where did it come from? And what's going on in your head about, should this be done? Should it not be done? Where's your head at as far as that's concerned?
Well, with regard to the record, I mean, the thing is, in Prince world, there's really nothing to talk about as far as, Prince call you, like he wants to work on a record, you go and work on the record. I mean, it wasn't anything to discuss for me. Like, Morris, come over here and we're going to do the thing, and I do the thing. And then whatever happens beyond my part is up to Prince. And it goes to the vault, it goes to the car, and he can drive through LA listening to it, whatever he wants to do. That's whatever it is. So I don't have beyond that point. It is of no concern as far as like, well, I'm like, hey, Prince, is that record coming out, man? What's up?
Right.
It's like,
right.
It's like, no, that's the move. However he does it, I got tons of stuff that's in the vault that we did back in the day. We were tracking so much. They were like, what y'all want with all this money? And I'm like, well, we in the studio all the time. So it's like that's beyond my control. If you don't want us to make no money, you got to go talk to Prince. He's one having us come down here. So as far as that goes, he recorded it, went in the vault. Thank you. Good night. So what happened is some years later, right after that we had done that, somebody from the estate reached out and said, "Hey, we found this record." I forget the gentleman's name. It eludes me for right now. But he was kind of like, I think he was a kid from.
Is it Michael Howe?
Yeah, Michael Howe. It reached out and said, "Hey, we found this record. Your name's all over it. On some production and whatnot, and blah blah blah. And we want to put it out." That is the estate's thing. If they want to put it out, they can put it out. And I'm like, "Oh, cool. I'm glad it's going to see the light of day." I loved the record. I thought it was great. And I thought it was poignant. I told Prince so. I said, like, man, this is amazing. You're talking about some heavy stuff. Everybody always say Prince is apolitical. He don't talk about politics. I'm like, all of that stuff. You don't need to talk about whatever you want to. Shut up. And so, he did his thing. And so I was happy to hear that they had found a record and they were going to bring it out. I'm like, oh, awesome. So great. And so they were like, yeah, we got it and we're going to do it. And that sort of thing. And so, of course, I'm happy to hear that. I'm glad. I thought it was great. I'm glad I got to work on it in that capacity. It's only a handful of people that have worked with Prince, Kirk and Hannah's husband. I'm sorry, Josh Welton. There's been a few people that he's worked with that had an opportunity to co-produce with him. Prince is notorious for producing his own stuff. He don't need no help. And so it's like for him to even call on me for something like that, bro, I'm like, bruh, thank you. Like it's awesome, to have contributed in that way. So yeah, I'm just happy to do it. And they were just notifying me that they were going to do it. And then they wanted just whatever information I knew about it. And I told them what I knew. And they had a couple of tracks they had sent me, and I was just like, I don't know about this mix, but why don't you use this one? And then they ended up using that for the record, like that, and they liked that better. But just that kind of stuff, just technical type stuff, and that they put. I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
So
because
that's that.
I think that Michael Howe had said that there were like 3 different iterations of this album, 3 different configurations, I guess, that were considered. Were you ultimately the one that was just like, yeah, this is probably the best one of the mix to kind of go around, or was there any?
I told them what I thought about it. I listened to what they had, and I was just like, yeah, I ain't feeling that right there. I think the one I have is better that it gave me, and so I gave them that, and they said, you're right, we agree, and so that was that, and so
Did anybody get an opportunity to or wanted to redo any parts or redo any production or anything?
Yes,
You did?
yes. I was not happy with Stand Up and Be Strong. The entrance, my
Oh
voice,
yeah, I know. You're right out front. All you, only you.
that wasn't a good take. I didn't like it. I wanted to do it over, but I didn't know it was coming out, so I had no chance to do it over. So it is what it is, and people like it. So I'm just gonna say, nah, it's all good. It's all good.
So you didn't get to do it over. That what you weren't happy with is what's on the album.
Yes.
You're not happy with that? It sounds fantastic. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
You are your worst critic. You know that. Lisa, you really
I was just gonna say, bro, you know, bro.
you're right. I just sounded weak or something. There was something going on. I don't know what it was, but it just didn't sound like myself. But
Well, I know that Toll had said, she had said when they were recording the album originally that if there were anything that they wanted to redo, it would say, Prince, can I redo that? And he was like, nope. And he was notorious for doing that. I know he did that to Wendy when she wanted to do that, a very, very similar, when she was doing the opening for Sometimes It Snows in April, when then that part, she was like, I was really pitchy in a couple of areas, and he was like, nope.
well,
I guess
Feel, man.
he hears
It's
something.
It's feel. I used to have these discussions with Prince about, like, different artists, about, like, sometimes, because I got really spoiled with our 3 ladies that we had singing,
Mhm.
really spoiled, because they always on pitch, they always on tempo, they always on things like this, and that was like a staple of Shell and Lisa and Liv. That was like a thing, and then they were tight as ant sneakers. They always knew where to come with the stuff, and so whenever I hear other people like that, like, especially you're talking about name brand, I'm not gonna call no names, because me and Prince will talk about it, because we be at their shows, and I'd be like, ooh, when they hit notes, I'd just be squirming. Prince like, no, you're gonna get us kicked out, and I'm like, oh my God, but Prince, that's so and so, and she big, man. But he would always say, he said, I'll give her a pass, because it's like she feels the music, she's feeling it, and I love when somebody feels the music. So Lisa, when she made feel like that wasn't it, he's feeling the music, he feel
yeah,
it, and he's cool with that.
yeah.
If he feel it, then he
Mhm.
can be like, I'm good with it. It ain't
Mm,
got to be perfect. I've hit wrong notes, and I'd be like, yeah, let me fix it. No, leave it alone, and have the horn players play a crazy chord over that wrong note, and then it's like, yeah, it's Batman. Then it's like, bam, bam, and it's like, oh snap. That's crazy what he did right there. It's all in the, like, I used to hear George Duke say, he said that there ain't no wrong notes. The right note is right next to that one right there. It's going to be the right next. It's just like, it's all how you shape it up. And Prince can make a mistake and make the same mistake twice, and it'd be like, that's what he wanted to do. Yeah, so it's only a mistake unless when you stop. That's when it's a mistake.
Well,
And so,
he said that before, that he's given that as advice to somebody. I can't remember who it was, but it was like, if you play a wrong note, do it again, and then they think it was
do it
intentional.
again.
Right.
Miles
Okay.
Davis was the king of it. I mean, he just
Yeah.
hit any note, and he turn his back to the crowd and play. People like, man, Miles a genius, man. That nigga genius, man. God dog, he got it. That's and he could and it's like it, but he know, because we know Miles know what to do. We know he a genius, just like Prince. So then it's like almost like Shaq wearing zirconium. Who cares? It's Shaq. We know he got money to go buy diamonds if he want to. You ain't gotta. It don't matter what it's. You know what I'm saying? I know that may
Yeah.
be a weird analogy, but it's like when you get to that certain level, bro. you didn't hit genius and legendary status. So can't
Right.
nobody come at you with no, oh yeah, it was kind of wrong or funny style. It's like, man, I played that because I felt like it, because I wanted to. And
Yeah.
so when Lisa felt good on that thing, and that's why he took it. Because if it's wrong to him, he gonna fix it. It's gonna get fixed because he know how to fix it, and he'll make you sing it over. I sat and watched Rosie Gaines. Prince made Rosie sing so many times over. She was hitting licks. I was like, every time I was like, God, whoa, God, dog. And I finally asked him. I said, Prince, what was wrong with all of those takes you told her to do over? Like, that was crazy. Like, what? And he was like, he said, there's 3 things that have to happen at once, Morris: tempo, pitch, and attitude. He said, you can't have. They all 3 have to happen at the same time. If you got 2 and you're missing 1, we do it over. And that's when I started thinking like, oh, because I just was listening to the lick itself. Because these girls, all of them, all 3 of them can hit licks, make you just do like this. You'd be like, ooh, that was crazy.
Yep.
And you just get caught up on that part. But then what about the pitch? What about the tempo? But it was just a feel. So he said, we have to have all 3 of those things working at the same time. That's when I got to take, And so I can guarantee you, if he let her go by with that, he felt that. That was like, that's cool. I'm cool with that. And then it just goes. So I just would agree with him. At least don't beat yourself up, because
I won't.
it ain't no thing. To me, that he let that go because he was cool with it.
Yeah.
Good.
Agreed.
Yes.
I mean, Lisa, I never. First off, I obviously knew Love Machine. I obviously knew that song. And let me just go ahead and just pause for a second, because a lot of people that are in the chat room right now, you don't know a lot of the basics and a lot of. So I try to make sure that I over explain a lot of things so that you can stay with it. I hate listening to like a podcast or something where they mention something, assuming that I know whatever. But Elisa Fiorillo, obviously, most people. Oh, Morris dropped off. Most people know her as the voice on Love Machine. That was it. Oh, look who's in the house.
Speaking of Love Machine,
Hey, baby brother.
I fell in love with my voice with his brother.
Yeah, my brother and I.
And when we were in the hallway at the Chanhassen Inn, I was singing in the hallway.
We didn't know it was her.
And he didn't know it was me singing. I thought it was
I
Jill.
thought it was Jill Jones. And I was like, it's you. You're the voice. My whole childhood gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Up in the sky. So that's Adrian Crutchfield.
Love you guys.
Sub A.
Yeah, again, for those who don't know, that was Adrian Crutchfield that just dropped in. That's always nice. What's he doing at your? Where are you at?
Minneapolis with the kids.
Yeah, I'm
With the
Oh.
camp.
playground in Minnesota for 2 weeks. I'm doing a songwriting workshop with the kids, and Adrian is one of the teachers, and I'm one of the teachers. So, yeah,
Wow,
So
unbelievable.
Airbnb. So I picked the cutest wall,
Very cool. Very cool. One of the questions I did have, but no, to wrap a nice bow around that, Lisa. No, you killed it. You killed it on that song. So don't. Yeah, Stand Up and Be Strong is already a tough song. Had you? I know we're going to be talking about these tracks here. It won't be like a long thing, but we're going to be talking about the tracks here. Had you heard Stand Up and Be Strong, which was, for those that don't know, again, over explaining, that song is actually a Soul Asylum song, written by Dave Pirner. And had you heard the original before?
Not
beforehand?
that day. No, I don't think we ever heard I don't think I heard the original.
I hadn't.
I thought it was his song. And then the writer came to the studio, right? One night, and we met him, and then we realized, oh, it was his song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I know that Michael Bland, who is the co-host of Funkatopia Live that we're doing right now, he can't be with us because he's actually doing rehearsals with Soul Asylum for an acoustic show up there, so he can't join us tonight. But he told me, he shared a story a couple of times about how he was contacted and Prince wanted to know if it was okay that he did that song, and Dave was like, yeah, absolutely. That's you kidding me? Yeah, absolutely. But going back to kind of the tour before we start talking about the album here, everybody knows that when you go on tour with Prince, that you have to have like a bunch of songs in the in the hopper, because you never know what songs he's going to pull, where he's going to pull it, what direction he's going to go. How many of the Welcome to America songs, besides, I want to say, I think Welcome to America and I think Hot Summer, I can't recall. How many of them were in the mix to be potentially played, but never got played?
We did Same Page, Different Book one night.
Oh
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, because I
That
remember.
we did, because I remember the rap. Yeah,
Can't wait
we
to talk
did that. But it was, we didn't, that's the only one I can think of other than Welcome to America, the one you just played.
Mhm.
I don't think we did any other song off that album live.
Right.
I'm
did.
going down the track list in my head.
Yeah.
Not even at a jam session. I mean, at an after show, I don't think we touched on any of those.
Wow. So for those that do not have this album is this is actually the super deluxe version of it. I'll put myself big so you guys can see it, but this thing is monstrous. Eventually this will end up as one of the giveaways. It would have been apropos to do it this evening, but I'm still very attached to this box set. But it is just incredible. It was I mean, with the vinyl and the lyrics, and they actually have there's all kinds of photo books and ticket reproductions and an etched vinyl that has it's all Welcome to America all over the entire vinyl. It's not playable, but there's so much stuff that comes in this box set. This is going to be tough to let go. Posters, everything in here. Just a beautiful set. Were any of you Morris, how involved were you in this process, or do you have any input at all, or did any of you have any input?
Well,
go ahead,
Cheryl.
Morris.
No, go ahead.
I had input with the lyrics because they needed to know a lot of those lyrics. And Tall, it's like you can listen to a song and you might not know what he's saying. You're trying to listen and decipher, and I keep everything. So I had to print it out, what got printed in, and I also had what was handwritten to be basically to decipher. So I worked with Trevor on that part, sending him stuff, and Tall. We worked on the phone, and we actually had sessions where we would work and go over the songs for the lyrics that would be inside of the record.
I got a question here. Do the 3 collect box sets released by the estate? Do you guys? I assume you guys probably get some. I'd imagine, especially if you've performed on them. Did you receive a copy of this?
Yeah, I got that. But I also went to Target and bought it because they had
good gift idea.
They had like a clear one.
So I had bought one.
Yeah, they had a clear one or something. I think it was like a funny, clear kind of one. But yeah, I got sent a box set.
Yep.
Man, yeah, it's pretty fantastic. But yes, to answer the person's question, I have every box set that was ever released. I kind of keep them in this case so they don't get damaged or cat scratched up or whatever. So I gotta protect them. They're not cheap. They're definitely not cheap. And I know, so when this album is done and you guys are brought in, specifically talking to the girls right now, when you guys are brought in to work on this stuff, I'm assuming you've set up camp at the Country Inn and Suites there in Chanhassen and are being kind of, being called on a regular basis. What is any specific fond or not so fond memories that you have of that period of time where you're trapped there at a hotel in Chanhassen, not knowing when you're going to be called on or any of that?
Go ahead, Elisa. I'll let you.
Well, I always found it interesting that he set up the mics inside the control room and sat us on the sofa, and someone always had to get that damn hump on the
in
sofa.
the middle.
Like, dude, why is this? Wasn't it always me?
Yeah, well, just because of the way we would set up for the blend,
Hump. But he would definitely tell us what to do, what to sing. But then he also gave us a lot of freedom, especially when we did like the group things where we had to act like we were at a party and you know, Shelby was amazing at that. She'd just get us going. We would just go on board with her.
And we recorded ourselves too, you know. Remember that?
What?
We recorded ourselves.
know.
You know, a lot of people don't realize that. Like Prince would leave us and he was like, here's the tape, here's write it down. And we were recording to analog. We were recording a lot of our own vocals ourselves. And so he would come back in and, you know, we were trying to look at the numbers and everything. So we engineered a lot of our own vocals.
I heard that you guys did a lot of rehearsals in random places, bathrooms, wherever. What was the craziest place that you guys would work on your vocals? Now, I also heard that you worked on your vocals in the hotel rooms, which seems like an obvious point, but were you ever concerned that there were people on either side of you, or did he buy the whole floor out? What was the story?
It was usually all of us near each other. There were other people there, but we weren't that loud when we do our vocals, and we sounded good, so it was kind of a treat.
I know you do.
If he was next to us, it was like, thank you, just slide a little money under the door for the free concert.
But let me tell you this though, Christopher. Let me just say this before I forget it. There was a point, Prince had built me a house. I was staying at the house, but at a point I gave him the house back. That's a whole nother story. But then I was staying at the hotel too. So now when I go to Minneapolis, I'm at the Country Inn with all the girls. So, on, I think Thursday or Friday night, they have an open mic that's like a karaoke thing down at the hotel, man. These girls was down there cleaning this place out.
Oh my God.
Like
Are
I
you
went down
serious?
there, it was packed out to the gillies.
Oh my
packed
God.
out. And people in there, and this one, I'm standing in the back. These girls is up there. I mean, they killing it. And this lady's like, "Oh my God, who are these girls? They're really good. They should be professional. They're so good." And I'm like, "Ma'am, these are some ringers over here. These are not your average everyday squirrels right here. These girls that's Prince's girls." She's like, "Oh, no wonder. I thought like, oh my God, these girls are so good. You know, we just come down here to hear them do karaoke." I'm
Oh,
like,
it's so much fun.
that's like having Jacques Cousteau clean your fish tank because they down there tearing it up. And I was just like, man, this is so funny. Them people down there thinking like they're just some folks from like up in Chaska.
I miss you,
No,
Morris.
This is the folks right here. They killing it.
Where's your turn?
Oh,
It is
Oh,
like-
That's not the Chaska Southern Avs. That's Prince girls.
Oh my word.
Mm.
All right. Well, before we start digging into these tracks, I'm sorry. Oh my God, John Cousteau cleaning your fish. Oh my word.
who says
Before
that?
we get into the track list
Morris.
here, Elisa, you had some story about a raccoon or raccoons. I need to know what this story is because I am just trying to figure this out.
So
Shelby's got a look of shock on her face. So this must be good.
Chris Coleman was going to be on this.
Yeah, he. Oh, and just to tell you what happened, Chris is currently on tour in Tokyo right now. I can't remember who he said he's playing with.
Okay.
And he was planning on coming on like the last hour, and they shifted their entire rehearsal. So he did send me a message saying that he wasn't going to make it, but who knows? He may still drop in. So the gate is open. So if he comes in, he comes in. But go ahead and share the story anyway.
Did Shelby like the back alley? Of the
That sounds so bad.
No, but
Yeah,
I'm trying to make it better. So she wasn't back there with doing things she shouldn't do. She actually one night she took out the trash like a nice friend, and she went to the trash bins, and there was a raccoon in the trash bin. And she was screaming, right? And you had the braids then, right?
Yeah.
So like we were laughing because when we told Chris Coleman about it, he did a reenactment of Shelby going to the trash bin to run into the raccoon and hitting him with their braids. And his eyes, when he did it, with his eyes like that, like we just lost it. We were having a dance party at Paisley that night. You remember? that was the raccoon story. Oh, I'm sorry, Shelby. I had to tell.
Listen, I take no prisoners.
Yeah.
If it's between me and the raccoon, it's gonna be me.
That's right.
That's
I've
funny.
never known you. I've never known you with hair. The first time I met you was in Atlanta many years ago when you and Elisa and Liv came down for I don't remember what it was called, the Women of Paisley or something like that. It was so amazing. It was so incredible to witness you guys out there in the middle of Piedmont Park, very small crowd, and you guys were just killing it. All of you guys were killing it.
Thanks.
But
Thank you.
just the visual of you with braids fighting with a raccoon.
Cause man, it's okay, man. It's like woods in the back of page. It's scary back there.
There
You know
is,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
It's like Dracula back out in there. You don't know what's out in these woods. It's late. It's, lights are spooky
Hey.
and all of the stuff. And man, so you ain't expecting to go back there and open up the thing and some vermins and things are all in there and just like
And he was inside. That's the thing
Yeah,
that got me. It was
chilling.
like I'm like, how did you even? I opened the thing
Right.
and he's like, "What's up?"
right. So yeah, I would have had to come up out of there. You know, you always see white people on when animals attack. You see us on cops. You don't see us messing with no animals. So when you see stuff in a dumpster, you got to go. Somebody got to go.
Yeah. And so then I would be sending Liv and Elisa texts with like raccoon memes. And this was a whole thing for like weeks and weeks. Even now, sometimes I'll just like randomly, if I see a funny thing with a raccoon, like, sweeping or something, or doing like the backstroke or moonwalking,
Yeah.
I'll have to
She
send it
can't
to
even
the
look
girls
at
and
Guardians of the Galaxy no more. She does
Yeah.
got Rocket on there.
and they get it. I don't even have to explain. Like they know what it is just by seeing the raccoon. It's just an instant laugh. Instant.
The laugh. It's a definite laugh.
Well, I know what to get you for Christmas this year.
Oh man.
I'm gonna find like a stuffed raccoon or something. We'll all get a laugh on it.
Ooh, okay.
I gotta keep it in my mind.
Oh,
All right.
goodness.
Let's talk about these tracks, and we'll start with obviously the opening track, "Welcome to America." This, and I don't know if this will be okay or not. I mean, I know it's okay because we pay global music rights licensing fees, which are not cheap. But so I'm going to try to play a little bit in the background just so people can kind of get a little bit of a taste of the song, just to kind of hear it a little bit. But I don't want it to be overwhelming, so we don't have to fight with copyright stuff. But it serves as a nice background as we talk about these tracks. As you mentioned, this version of Welcome to America is so, and everybody in the chat room, please let me know if the music is too loud and you can't hear me or you can't hear one of our guests here. Please let me know. There was a couple different versions. This is like a really, really laid back version. And there was the one that you played live, which was, this is actually the version you're listening to right now, this one. And then, of course, you have the rocked out version that most of you that had the opportunity to see the Welcome to America tour got to hear, which is typically it's related with Dreamer, which is an amazing mesh. If that's just an amazing. There's a couple lyrics, though, Shelby, since you kept note of all the lyrics. I don't know if you have like the meaning behind some of them. For instance, we snatch bass players, not purses. That seems an obvious one because he's notorious for snagging bass players here and there. But was there ever any type of explanation for like, today we'd like to discuss America's plan to fix the educational system. The Pledge of
that's when
Allegiance will
Lisa
now
did
read
that
as
part. I
follows.
remember that. Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the earth of the United States of the universe. Was there any, do you just kind of just look at the lyrics and just read them and sing them as he gives them to you and just accept them for what they are and that's it?
Yeah.
Was there any point in time where you ever just asked him, what does that mean?
No. We would look at each other sometimes when singing stuff, but I can't ever think of a time where I said, "Hey, what does this mean?" For how does it go, maybe, or just we're focused on we're the paint, like he's the artist and the brush, and so we're the paint, and so he knows, he sees and hears, and we're basically manifesting his vision. So you just got to trust Picasso, if that's the best analogy. You just got to trust Picasso and go with that. But some of that was like, wow. I mean, like Son of a Slave Master. I mean, that's kind of, Running Game. That's some of the stuff is self-explanatory, but it's deep. And it's a lot of, entendres or double entendre stuff that's like, wait a minute, what is he? And you reverse it back. It's a very deep record. So sometimes I would get back to the hotel and I'd just be looking at some of the lyrics myself, and like, okay. It was, yeah, but I never asked him about it like that.
I'll tell you though, Christopher, I learned, because I would ask questions, but what I learned very quickly is when Prince is in a zone, when he's in a space, like it is extraordinarily distracting to get him off what the tip he's on at the moment. I had to learn the hard way a few times. Like, don't come in here with this thing I'm talking about over here. It's like so off from where he's at in the zone he's in.
Mhm.
It's like, it's just like I come in and like, Prince, do you like spark plugs that's blue or green? And it's like, nigga, like what? like, man, I'm right here right now, man. Like, bro, like, come on, man. It's like you just have to learn. This is what did I call it? You have to have some discernment and to know what, like he's in a zone. He's going down a thing. He needs you to do ABC 1 2 3, not XYZ PQRSTUV. He don't need none of that. It's just like stay in the zone, stay and let him because he's in a flow and everything is just kind of like it's flowing and it's coming out of the thing. We can always shoot first and ask question later. I say that a lot about Prince. We would shoot first and ask question later. We'll figure it out down the line. But I think most of us just learn to just let him be. He's in a zone. Everything's flowing. Everything's feeling good, man. Don't mess with it. Don't monkey with it. Let it roll.
Let it roll.
I was too worried about being speaking with a British accent that I never did, but suddenly I was British, and so I was concentrating on that. I wasn't really even thinking about the words. I was thinking about, do I sound authentic, and do I sound like a newscaster, or do I sound like a British lady?
Yeah.
I haven't acted in a long time, but it was like you put that on you, like, okay, you can pull it off. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just a trip, and that was just one song, and there were so many moments like that where he was, having us do different things and voices and the party thing, and then he's like, it was just so different. So much of it was just different, and it almost felt like musical theater, like an album, like a cast album for like a Broadway theater thing, because it went through so many changes. It was very visual with a lot of the lyrics, so you could kind of see, what he was writing and talking about. And so as we're singing it, like sometimes in my mind, I could visualize what we were singing about as if it were like a film, So yeah.
It's, I mean,
especially like on Born to Die, someone like that, songs like that,
Well, with Welcome to America, one of the things that I found interesting is that I've heard a few different clips of it live when it was performed live, and he switched up a lot of the lyrics in that song, especially the talking parts, everything that Google says is hip and things like that. And then, but when you do it live, he would always be bringing whatever type of hot topic or topicality happened to be going on, whether he's talking about Barack Obama or whether he's talking about this, that, or the other. So I was curious at how often that he changed the lyrics of that when you were going. I mean, I assume he has a pool of ones that he's pulling from for this song, but I'm curious like how often he would change it when you guys performed that song live.
Oh, Welcome to America?
Yeah, Welcome to America specifically.
Yeah, I think we only did that once. I don't think we did that more than once. yeah, I think that's kind of it.
Yeah, that is it. I mean, we've
Yeah.
rehearsed a few different versions before it got to what you heard live there. We had a different some kind of like horse and buggy version that was like, just like a welcome, and it was a quirky kind of little groove to it. But what we ended up with, that was it, bro. And that was kind of like a jam. I barely
It was-
remember
yeah,
that
for sure.
version.
Yeah, I don't want to play it again, get myself in trouble. I do remember that Jason Eagle or Eigel
Yeah, yeah.
that did some production work on this song. And I don't remember where Prince had gotten him from, but I do remember him telling the story. I think it was on that 4-part series that was released a while ago, about how he was excited to be able to record Prince live in the studio singing, and then what ended up happening is that Prince sat behind him, I guess, on that couch, and was doing those voiceover parts, and he was like, this is probably even more ethereal than that is, I guess, to have Prince sitting right behind you, just
Watching you over your back.
just bringing the knowledge. Yeah, it's kind of like, all right, you can feel it. I will say there is, according to what I saw on Prince Vault, there was a tape that was photographed in the vault for Welcome to America. And on that tape were also Yes and a song called Dance to the Higher. Did you get a chance to hear Dance to the Higher? Are you on that song, or what is that song about? Do you know anything about it?
I don't remember.
I don't remember that song.
It was in that same recording session, so it wasn't a part of. Okay, so it wasn't a part of that. All right, there you go.
Mm-mm.
And of course, Welcome to America was made available as download, and the 7-inch single that we have there as well. And it was done at the Forum in Inglewood, California. You got, but it said the first appearance of it was December 15th, 2010, at the Izod Center in East Rutherford, and then there was another time where they did the Dreamer interpolation that was in Melkweg in Amsterdam. So that's what Prince Vault said.
All right.
Yeah.
We did a lot of shows.
You
Not
did a lot of
a lot of singing.
So on that song, Welcome to America, it's obviously Prince, Chris Coleman on drums, Tel Wilkenfeld on bass guitar, Morris and keyboards and percussion, of course, Shelby, Elisa, and Liv on background vocals. Now, the next track, Running Game, Son of a Slave Master. We'll go through these a little bit quicker, but Shelby, I know you have a really good personal attachment to this song because you have your part's way out there. Tell me a little bit about this song and your involvement in it.
Well, I when I looked at the lyrics, I said, wow, okay, we're going there. Because he would always talk about, people still on the plantation, having their masters owned, their publishing owned. And I said, you gonna work with so-and-so? Because he can't do it. He's still on the plantation. He's basically not a free artist to be able to do whatever you want to do, So still a part of the machine, son of a slave master's machine. And so it's just, it was just deep. And I didn't know it was going to be, sometimes you would do a part and I wouldn't know it was going to be the final thing. So even though I'm doing a lot of the singing and everything like that, I mean, he could have come in after and done something over that, kind of like with Chelsea. I didn't know Chelsea was going to sound like that at the whatever comes out to the public. Just I could sing the whole thing and then they could take parts away or mix in whatever. But it was kind of that swag that I was like, okay, just deep. But the swag of that song is like so it's one of them. It's one of them, Yeah,
it's a really, really deep song. And I know that, he spoke a lot about artists. I know there was that time that he made that comment that the internet is dead, and what he was really, I guess, when he was asked to clarify about that, one of the things that he was saying is that it's really about just the artistry, and that, is talking about the ability for artists to be able to even make a fair wage online. I mean, the reach is there for sure, but now that the industry kind of has gotten a hold of it, they have yet to, they found yet another way to take advantage of artists.
running game.
Spotify is a prime example of that.
Yeah, they moved the yardstick, you know. It's like, and that's what
Right.
running game is. It's like, just when you say, okay, I can do it this way, they go, oh, we're gonna flip it and do it this way. There's still ways, you know. I'm finding ways myself as far as selling my music myself on my site, which is something he was all about. So that, you know, you're not on the plantation and you don't have to wonder, you know, they tell you how many you sold. I know how many records I sold last night. I know, I can see it myself. And so, you know, I definitely took a lot of that knowledge from him as far as how he wanted things to be for artists. And that one song right there really talks about a lot of stuff, like rap turns to beef when the gangsters meet, you know. When it's words is one thing, but then you can have some real stuff going on when you put that stuff out in the atmosphere. And that reminded me of the whole East-West rap thing that happened, you know, that was just words, but then words become real beef and people start getting excited. And you got people this side against people this side, and it started with just a rap, you know. So it's a lot of stuff on that record, but on that song right there, there's a lot of stuff where I just scratch my head like, oh yeah.
Yeah, because I'm interested. Really, one of the things that is a big, I'm curious about from each of you is how you actually navigate this nuance. For instance, I know that each of you have new music coming out or projects you're involved in. You got a lot of active. Morris, you've got a song with Maya called Foreigner that's dropping. You Shelby, I know you released See You Again. I think there was one after that too. Elisa, Clear Blue Skies. So you guys have like these songs that are out there. What is your strategy or your advice to artists, you know, when you're in this position of releasing this music and how you kind of navigate this situation that this song talks about? We're talking about Running Game, by the way.
Yeah. But Lisa, you want to?
I mean, I'm giving props to Shelby for doing it that way because, you know, I didn't. And I pretty much just gave it to, you know, Spotify and gave it to you, iTunes, and gave it to, you know, and it's free and everybody's downloading it. But part of my positioning on that one is, you know, after I worked with Prince and he passed, and I was kind of just raising my daughter, trying to, you know, be there for her, put her through college, get her, you know, on her way, her merry little way. And now that baby girl is gone, mommy wants to play again. And so I've kind of been out of the mix, and a lot of people don't even remember that I actually had hits out before Prince with Jelly Bean Benitez. You know, like they don't put the two and two together. They don't even realize that I'm the same girl that had a record deal with Chrysalis and worked with Prince when I was 19 and then worked with them later. Like they don't put the stuff together. So I'm kind of trying to reintroduce myself, which is why I gave it away, just to kind of just get my stuff out there. But I might take the other road on the future stuff because I've written a ton of songs with my husband and we're producing left and right. And I've got all these songs just coming out of me. So I think I'm going to call you, Shelby, and ask you how you.
I got you, mommy. I got you.
It's sad, you know, the whole entire songwriting thing definitely changed. And it's really sad that, you know, songwriters don't really get checks anymore on the songs that they put their heart and soul in that's their babies. It's like you just basically giving your baby away. And I don't mind because my messages like Blue Sky was you know, it hit me because it was it was a song about ICE and what's going on in the world. And I felt so overwhelmed, like Prince isn't here to write it and this is his hometown, and like I feel like I need to do something. And so I wrote the song with Carlos and just wanted to give it away just to kind of spread some peace and love out there, just to you know, like, so in that respect it's like I'm fine with giving it away. But there is the other side of it where I am an artist and I have to make a living. And
exactly.
So, you know, I'm just going, hey, remember me? I'm back. So,
well, Morris, what is your input or advice for artists that, again, what Prince is referring to in this running game scenario with the current state of art? Because you produce a lot of stuff, so you have to have pretty deep thoughts
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. The thing about music, especially today, what I see is that with the advent of AI,
Mm.
everything is moving extraordinarily fast. AI is able to generate, and people with AI are able to generate so much music so fast. I mean, Spotify had to take millions and millions of songs down off of the site.
Mhm.
uh, that just because things like Suno and all of the Ace Studios, all of the things can generate music so fast and so furiously, and really in a lot of cases really good stuff. I've heard some of the stuff and I'm like, wow, that's dope. Who did that? And they're like, oh, that's AI. I'm like, oh snap, AI is doing it like that. So it's like it's kind of crazy. So what does that mean for artists like that that's like in here just like trying to get your tracks done? How much money it costs to get tracks done? How much time it takes to get tracks done, and you put in all of this hard work, and you want your music to be appreciated. I think the best thing that an artist can do now is figure out like who is your audience, how do you want to disseminate your music, how you want to get your music out there. Like I've been working with this artist, we still do things like the old school way. I like things like a Tool. Like I've always been a geek as it relates to music. When I first started getting into synthesizers and like 4-track recording and all of the things, like early on when these things would come out, people like, oh man, you don't use real drums, you use a drum machine and all of this. Is just like, well, I can't afford drummers. So I got to make my own beats. I learned how to make my own beats. I learned how to do things myself, so I didn't have to depend on somebody else to do it since I'm not a drummer. But I can sit here and just, play some drums. Let's see. I don't have sound on it. I think it turned off. Anyway,
Yeah,
I had to
not
learn how to
everybody can
just
be
like make
Prince.
beats and do my thing, man, and just get it done because nobody, like, yeah, I took a note out of Prince's book. He would do all of his work and play all his parts, and he didn't have to wait on nobody. Like, can you go and like play some bass? Like, nah, man, I got a gig tonight. It's like, no, man, learn to do it yourself, do your thing, and get your music out there. So,
Yep.
that's where I am with just trying to get like with artists who still can go get it. Shell and Lisa and Liv, they're great singers. So and as a matter of fact, Shelby worked on some of my stuff with the singer that I work with, and that's another thing. Like what I like about how many of us within the New Power generation in the Prince fam, music fam, I've gotten to be like super ace cool with like Bobby Z. We're like the best of buddies now, and that's where it should be. Like with these bands and all of these people, we have a network of musicians and artists that we have inside of the NPG, inside of the Revolution, and all of the Third Eye Girl, all of the bands that we should be able to call on one another if we need something and get things done and get things sorted out and help each other. Like, we've all learned from Prince and all learned a lot of things. The only thing that I think that's out there that's kind of like constantly changing is the demographic is this artificial intelligence and how we get music out here. Like I won't give Spotify personally myself any music that I'm gonna do for me. My artists, they can go if you want to put some stuff you did on Spotify or any of the music platforms. Great, but I'm gonna go down the Shelby route. I'm gonna, when I get my songs going for my record, they're going on my website and they're going on my situation so that I can, and I'll take my chances. We have enough people that in the Prince world that follow us, that support us. And man, look, I, I don't want to get 40,000 plays on Spotify and get 0.7 cents.
Yeah.
When I
That
can say,
part.
hey, you pay me if you think this is worth 99 cents or $1.99 for this track, holler at your boy. And then boom, boom, boom. And we
Holla
do
at your
it like this.
girl.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, then that's the love that we have. I just want to always try to do as best quality work as I can. Nobody want to put out some stuff just to be putting out stuff. We want to do quality work and represent the guy who taught us all of the things that we learned. And we all came from different places. We learned stuff, but our education exponentially went up with Prince. And we learned a lot of things there and how to do things. He taught us how to do business. He taught us how to, how to negotiate navigate rather the music business. Music business. He told us how to navigate these people and all of these different things. Like we did the Super Bowl, we see people talking about, well, we don't pay anybody. Like, you don't pay me. You gonna pay. It's like he didn't walk the same street as everybody else did as it relates to that kind of stuff. And granted, I'm not Prince or anything, but I think I learned enough things to know like there are options that we can do. So I think the more people know about the business, and I think the better off you're going to be to know how these things work. I have the benefit of a manager and some other people like that, and maybe everybody don't have that, but we have this amazing thing called the internet that we just have to utilize to just figure out
Yep.
what is the best method for what I'm trying to do. And I think the biggest part of it is just know your audience, man. Get your, understand the people who are your tribe, who trying to hear what you're trying to say. And then hopefully, there's some support there, and there are people who will, support great music and other things. But I like what Elisa's doing, and it's something that I've started doing, and I think that maybe aside from this thing, but I think it's great, is that she's working with the kids. Because I think the biggest thing that we have as musicians, especially at this stage in my career, I'm like 64 years old, is like, what is the legacy left behind? What is going to be for the kids?
Yeah.
What are they going to do? What are the things that we got to keep Prince turned on for the kids, and that they know this artist, and that they know this music, and they know what pure genius is. He is a Mozart in our time. He's our Mozart in this time zone, rather than back in that day. So that's our own modern day Mozart, and we were fortunate enough to be in that circle, and actually, that when you think about it, it's heavy, man, because it's like, there were some people who was around Mozart back in the day that was like, yeah, Mozart, that's my dude. We be down there doing the thing. That's us right now. We able to say like, yeah, that's Prince, that's our boy. We in here eating and laughing, making jokes at the table, and we on the stage at night killing it. We had that experience for years and years. And so I think it is incumbent on us to just like share that experience with these kids, teach them what we know. Prince always said, each one teach one. That was his thing. He would say that all the time. And so I take my hat off to Lisa and Adrian and all the ones that's working with the kids. I'm doing master class. I got a show coming up in October 27th in Detroit with the kids from Crescendo. I'm doing a thing with them and some local musicians there. And that's what it's all about. It's like to give back and to give to these kids and and help them try to get to do the things that we did. Man, me and Shell did the Super Bowl. We did all of the things. We played for royalty. I remember when I first got with Prince and just seeing Prince and Diana and them in the crowd, man, jumping up and down like Cheetah Mountain, like, bro, that's bananas, man. I mean, that's crazy. And we did that. And so I think we have to share that. That's just kind of my thing, bro.
Yeah. And Shelby, I mean, what are you are the most active on social. You're very, very active on social. So do you feel like that's your sweet spot?
I do. And Prince would always tell me, he goes, you don't have to do things like we did it in the 70s and 80s. We needed this. He goes, you have the internet. You can reach people instantly. So use it as a tool. Like it's great to play games, everything like that. He goes, but you have access to everyone in the world on this thing. And so it would behoove you to utilize that to let people know what's going on. If in fact you want to support yourself as a singer, like Shelby pays Shelby's bills. So this is how I support myself. I always say this is how I keep the train on the tracks. So when you come to my website and you buy the song directly from me, that $1.99 is all me. I'm not getting, like Morris said, 1.000 of a cents of a song. So I can actually support myself with the music that I make, and have a career. And then as the music spreads, we're going to do what I call a worldwide distribution when I want to. But it's about control. It's like I control my music. I control my destiny. I own my masters. I don't have to wonder, they could tell me anything. I mean, I don't have an accounting with them. I mean, they could say whatever. This is how I just have to believe what they say, as opposed to me being able to look at my own account and know, oh, last week you had, 916 downloads, and then I get everyone's email. So now I'm building a community. Now we have this bond, so I can do special things for those people, and then I can let them know, hey, I'm going to come to your city. Here's the tickets. Here's this. So it's not just about the sale. It's about building a community moving forward, because I'm gonna keep doing this. So it was kind of like a beta test for me to see how people would respond, because they're so used to just clicking on iTunes, adding something to their playlist, and they're thinking that $9.99 they playing a month, maybe they think that's coming to me. It's not. So just educating, like you said, educating the consumers. They think they're supporting us, but they're like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me you only get half of a penny and you got 20 streams when that could have been? So it's just educating them so they know that, hey, when I come here and do this, this is when I can really support this artist. And then as a free artist, like Elisa said, then you can choose to do what you want. If she wants to put something up on Spotify and it's free for people, that is also a way of freedom to say, I'm going to choose to do it this way, but nobody's telling her to do it that way, and so that's what it's about, the freedom to do it the way that you want to do. So I'm just, deciding to kind of kick it this way and seeing what's going to happen with folks. And it's been really great. It's been really great. I'm very thankful for each and every, somebody asked for the link. I think you have to do that, put it up for the single. I know that's not what we're talking about, but someone did ask for it in the comments. But they can go to my site and get it for my song "See You Again," which is a dedication to Prince and D'Angelo. So yeah, I'm proud of it.
Nice.
And I didn't want to just put it out there and have it just go. I'm like, no, I don't want to devalue my music. I work hard on these songs, and they're my gems. So I want to treat them like gems, not just like some old dusty tennis shoes.
All right. I said we would go a little bit faster, but I lied. It's okay, because I love the fact that you guys are also able to promote the things that you have going on right now, not just revisiting this amazing album that, again, is the 5-year anniversary in 2 days. I can't fathom that, but I'm so glad that you guys are still out there doing it and still out there killing it. I know all your work, Elisa, with the Purple Playground that you're doing right now, and you've got like a couple events that are happening in September. You're doing some performances and stuff, and it's really, really cool to see all of you out there just doing it, killing it. And
it's what Prince wanted us to do. It's what he told us to do.
Right.
That's the kicker. See, it's what Prince taught us to do. He wanted this for each and every single one of us. So that's what's up.
Yeah, and I'll put this link up here real quick. Thank you, Tanya. Appreciate that. ShelbyJ.bandzoogle.com/home. I'll spell it out real quick for you folks. It's obviously ShelbyJ.bandzoogle.com/home. You'll be able to pick up some stuff there. That's for you folks on Spotify and iHeartRadio and whatnot. That you're not. We can't see you in the counts up here. We know that you're plentiful, but appreciate it. Let's talk about the next song on here, "Born to Die." We'll go through these a little bit quicker, but some of these songs deserve a little bit of stretch. "Born to Die." I'm really interested in this one. This is obviously a photo from Randy St. Nicholas, kind of used to promote the streaming of the song. It was on BBC Radio at one point in time, BBC Radio 6, and on Prince's official YouTube channel in June 3rd, 2021. And of course, Morris, I read that Prince had actually explained this song to you when he's talking about the production of it, and you did mention briefly about Cornel West making a comment about how he had basically said, "I love my brother Prince, but he's no Curtis Mayfield," and Prince is like, "Really?" And then of course we get "Born to Die." I mean, and let me just say, I love when people challenge Prince, especially in scenarios where it's very, very obvious that he can easily do any of these things that you challenge him to do. I mean, whether it's Sheena Easton saying, "There's no way you can make a song with the words la, 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 he," or Rolling Stone right before the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Awards going, "He's not one of the 100 greatest guitarists," or Curtis Mayfield saying, "He's no Curtis Mayfield." I mean, Cornel West saying that. You are provoking this man.
Well, I mean,
Because
he
this
he
man
loved the
sounds like
challenge, but
challenges.
that's what makes the great ones great is that Prince
That's right.
saw everything as an opportunity. It's like really, and and like I said, he loved Dr. West. One of his favorite people on this earth was
Yeah.
Dr. Cornell West. He
Mhm.
loved him and Tavis Smiley, like all of those guys. You know, Prince was cool with them, and so it wasn't he didn't even take it on no offensive like kind of a thing. He just said, "Oh, really?" Like when I said it, and he's like, "Really?" And then it was just like, okay, game on. You know, it was like it was game on. So that's what I loved about Prince. It's just like he always saw things like an opportunity to just to show somebody like just so you know I can do that and I can do this. Cause Prince one of his favorite things to say, we can do them, but they can't do us. You know, he'd say that. And it'd be like that'd be the thing. And that's what we thrived and lived on that. You gonna call us out. I remember we had Duran Duran open for us and they had the nerve to play Kiss. Prince was like, really? They were for real though?
Wait a minute.
Man.
When was this?
Oh man, like 93. We were doing some festivals. It was like Foreigner, and Duran Duran was opening and we were the headliner. And bro, they played Kiss and we was looking at each other like, no, they didn't, bro. And like, and we were like,
Wow.
Wow.
and he said, oh really?
We had to
He
clear
was like,
that through Prince
okay
first.
then.
There's no way.
And we went and ate them children's lunch. So it was like, you know, it was like, man, y'all shouldn't have did that. What were you thinking,
What were
bro?
you thinking?
Like, but that's okay, cause Sonny was like, oh, like it's on and cracking, baby. We'll see y'all later on this evening. And just wore them low. And you know when you wear somebody low, he's like, oh man, y'all were great. Whew, man, y'all cold-blooded, man. It's like you get one of them, and it's like, yeah, go over there and sit down, Junior.
That's great.
Like,
Well, there was a lot of obviously, you know, they challenged him to do Curtis Mayfield. And he obviously pulled it off really, really well. I do have some questions though. I think it was Shelby, it was you and Liv and the conversations and whatnot, the dialogue that you guys have towards the end of this song. And was that one of those freestyling, you do you, this is what's going to happen, this is a story? For those that don't know, the story is really about a woman that is going through it, and I guess at the end of the song jumps off of a building.
Mm-hmm.
Does he give you the theme and you just kind of talk it through? Tell me
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. I mean, the lyrics were there, but it was kind of just like he described the vision, you know, and then we could just kind of go with it, you know, like, what girl I heard, you know. So that's why I said it felt like musical theater, you know, acting it out with our voices and creating that so you could get that visual through how we talked about it and how we performed that, even though, you know, it wasn't just singing, it was talking, that conversation, you know, so you could feel it. But yeah, he gave us the direction and a lot of times and lyrics, but we would improvise as well, you know, because you can't, when you're in it, you know, we did a lot of improvising.
Oh, a lot of
improvising, and he would just tell us, yeah, describe it, but then we could just go with it, you know, like, you know, two girls are having a conversation and da 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 da. And so then we just do our thing, and I put my little bit on it, and then she puts her bit on it, you know.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So, were you guys having like a conversation around one mic, or was there literally like a little bit of a back and forth where you've heard her dialect?
Yeah, no, we were doing this together. Like we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. It definitely has that flow. And again, I'm glad. Thank you to Dr. Cornell West for saying what he said, because Born to Die is definitely one of those one of the strongest songs on here for sure. It's just got that, it's just that vibe. It really captures that 70s Marvin Gaye, Curtis Mayfield, Donny Hathaway. It captures it just so perfectly. And obviously the addition of the background vocals and the chatter and whatnot really kind of add to that ambiance as well. Which brings us to the next track, which I have questions about as well for Morris, which is 1,000 Light Years from Here.
I love that song too.
Great song.
I love that song.
For sure. Great song.
That was fun to sing.
It is. It's great. It's great to sing along to. Just a great jam. Just a great jam. First off, it was an interesting choice to be added to this album because many people were probably thinking to themselves, I've heard this before, and you did, on Hit and Run Phase 2, but it wasn't a freestanding song. It was actually attached to the back end of Black Muse.
Mm-hmm.
So if you listen to Black Muse, it's about I guess it's about 3 minutes to go at the end of it. They break into the song. Pretty much, I mean, there's some slight arrangement difference, but totally different lyrics. The lyrics for Hit and Run Phase 2 are basically all about his love for his Black Muse and how she's 1,000 light years from here. And on this version, the song is about racial inequality and just sharing his vision of what that looks like. And what that looks like is 1,000 light years from here. Mm-hmm. I can only imagine it was probably inspired by Stevie Wonder's visions. Because every time I hear this song, I think he certainly had to have kind of went with that vibe. But I'm curious, Morris, what you're just, knowing that this song already kind of existed, granted with different lyrics, did that come into play at any point in time where you thought, maybe I shouldn't put this on there, or maybe it should be on there? I don't know. What was your thought?
Oddly enough, that's a song I never worked on. I didn't work on that song. So I listened to it and I thought, I don't really know what to do with this. Like how I would like improve it in terms of like there were about 4 songs. This is a 12-song thing. I think I did half of them, like 6 tracks. And the record that I had didn't even have, there was some additional track. I think the record that I had 10 tracks on it. And then I did 6 of the 10. And but I don't recall 1010 wasn't there. One Day We'll All Be Free wasn't there. Yes wasn't there. And I think there was not there, but I didn't work on that.
Well, I was more referring to when you're making the decision about the track list for the album itself, because we know that there was like, I guess, 3 different variations of the configuration of that. Was that any part of the consideration?
Well, I only know the track list as Prince gave it to me on the CD that I had. I had a CD. It's always good because he draws all over them and makes his funny little cartoons on them and do all the things. I just had that. That was the sequence. The last I saw it, when the record came out, I saw the additional things, and I wasn't privy to like all of the rest of the, they weren't like filling me in on everything that they did with that. They just were concerned about the things I worked on. And so
Gotcha.
I addressed the things that I knew about and that I worked on and tried to help them out with what, whatever information, like Shel was saying, you had to give them some information on the things that you worked on. And so that's kind of what I did as well. And they were working behind the scenes to put everything together. And I was just as, as the record came out with all of the artwork and all the time, I was as shocked as anybody. I was like, wow, this is really cool. And just thought like, how great is this? I'm just so very happy that, with as many things that's in the vault, that this would be one of the things that came out.
Yeah.
And that I was just elated about it. And, just like, wow, man, this is so cool. And I did a lot of press, and all over the world about this record. And just, and really, I think the only mistake that was made is we put it out the same day as Billie Eilish, and she was like 38 hot like a mug, and it just was like, with the same day as Billie Eilish.
Too from her.
She was number 1 in every market. We were like number 2, and like and we'd have number 1 R&B or whatever. But she, and she was at this point. That was like right after the Grammy thing. She got all the Grammys. And I'm like, who thought of this, man? Y'all don't put this out. Like that's like back in the day, somebody putting a record out like in Steely Dan's lane. Like, you gonna put something out when Steely Dan got something out, they gonna win every award in the thing. And so, but it held its own, like next to Miley, not Miley, but Billie Eilish,
Billie Eilish,
and
yeah.
and it was pretty severe. But Sony did a great job, I think, getting the word out. Like everybody that worked on that record, man, it was a campaign, and that to me it really paid off because I mean I was in everything just talking about it and how great it was and the whole experience, So I was very happy about that. But
Yeah.
um,
So 1,000 light years from here, though, for those that may not know all the details, it was already released in different lyrics, and it was on Hit and Run Phase 2 as part of Black Muse, and this one. So that's the reason why I kind of found that this song being on this album when people had kind of already heard it. A lot of people hear music and they don't hear lyrics, so
mhm.
so there's a lot of that. So you got this song now that's on here, and just to be clear, I love when Prince does that when he separates songs quite a bit. Like some people don't know that, and Andy Allo was on the show one time. She told me this, that her song "When Stars Collide" was actually married with "This Is What It Feels Like." So those two songs used to be together. And if you listen to Andy Allo's "When Stars Collide," right back to back with "What It Feels Like," it's a beautiful song, and it used to be together, but he took it back and put it out.
But Prince has done that forever. I mean, even when you talk about like the Graffiti Bridge movie, My Summertime, is it My Summertime thing? He used the same music. He just like The Latest Fashion. Those are the same songs basically. It's like he just would take and just do that. I mean, I've heard different iterations of like what's the one that we were working on a lot. Oh my gosh, Shelby, y'all know when we were doing the parties at the house in Bel Air. What's that song that we were doing? And it ended up on one of the records. But we just kept messing with it until he finally got it like the way he wanted it, and then he released it, and he did it. But it was been in the vault. I've seen it sitting in the vault for years when I first got there, and it's just that he would recycle some songs because he shelved it for a while, and then when it hits him, spirit hits him, then he'll go pull it out and tighten it up. I think let's see, was it a Thousand Hugs and Kisses was
Yeah, there was like a few different versions of that one too.
yeah. That was like had a few versions. And I love what it ended up being, because that joker is a groove on that joker.
Fire.
But, but he was good for that, and that's the beautiful thing about music to me, man, is that it's got this incredible shelf life, especially when it's good. And Prince penned some great stuff, man. And if it didn't work in this thing, he'd table it and then he'd pull it out later, and then like now it fits. I got the girls, I got this, I got Renato. I can make it work now because this is what I was hearing for, but I didn't have, I couldn't get. Now I can do that. Renato opened up a whole lot of things, and Cassandra opened up a lot of things, and Barbarella. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like when you get different people, and Prince is like he's all of that music is in his head. So now all he's doing is pulling puzzle pieces and like fitting in, like, okay, now I got the crew that I can do this track with now, and I got a horn section. I can do this track now with this. And so you know what I'm saying, that he always was orchestrating like that and could think of like okay now I can pull this off like I heard it in my head.
Yeah, that's which again, I'm so glad that he did that because there's so many. I mean, it's really kind of cool to kind of hear how songs were originally processed in his mind. It's Dream Factory specifically. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but Dream Factory, if you took the songs in the order that Dream Factory was configured, it would have been, we ended up with Sign of the Times, which was phenomenal. But if you ever got an opportunity to put the songs in order for Dream Factory, it's ridiculous. Next song, Hot Summer. Let me say, so poppy. Like I every time I hear this song, the first thing I think, I see somebody doing the Carlton dance. It's just that bop. And obviously that song has been in the rotation for quite a while out in the ether before it was released on here, because I mean they played it on Prince's birthday, I guess it was. We actually played it before that too. It was kind of got the drop somehow, and it had been out there for a while. And it was also on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine in Germany in July of 2021. It was a 7-inch, very similar to this, but it had its, you know. Do you guys remember when we were kids and they had those magazines where they would have the the albums in the middle that were like really like flimsy plastic, and you
like when I was a kid, it was like the Archies or something like that.
It was just
like they would have a little pink little plastic record you could play on your 45 machine. A lot of kids
that was square too.
It was square because they had to put it inside and you rip it out and then you put it on the thing and it would play like a record, but it was see-through, like either like blue or red or some kind of color, very flimsy. And then you play them joints. They put them on cereal boxes.
What?
Oh yeah.
You've never seen? Yeah, it would be in magazines. Sometimes it would be in Mad magazine. Sometimes it would be like maybe a comedy song or something. But a lot of times they would have these albums that you could literally pull out of the magazines, and they were just like 45s, but
just plastic. I mean, just very flimsy.
Like, you could
just very flimsy, and just like you can like do it, shake it like a piece of paper like that, but it was just a piece of plastic.
Just fold it in half, ruin it, but. It was.
I'm old. I told you.
I'm old. I know. There it is. But anyways, it was a cover mount. The cover mounts aren't like that though. The cover mounts are a little bit more substantial, obviously. Basically, what was I going to do with this one? Oh, there was in late April of 2012, Prince had sent a rehearsal version of. I'm pretty sure you were familiar with this, Shelby, because you were probably in the room. Lisa, maybe you were too. When he merged Mutiny with Ice Cream
Castles. Yeah,
that was. Oh Lord, that was.
And that was the way that those songs worked together was just unbelievable. It was it was hilarious how well those that bang, bang, I could hear it in my head right now. It was amazing. But he sent it to Paul Peterson, and they were at that point they were called F Deluxe, and I guess in a response. F Deluxe.
You remember this?
Took Hot Summer and actually put it to a commercial for Menards. And I think
come on down to Menards in this
Dr. Funkenberry had a funk podcast and he did actually post it, and I did find it, so we will play it from here just so you guys can hear this little joke that Paul Peterson sent back.
Hot summer days at Menards. $2.99 light bulbs.
So wrong.
Days at Menards. Hot summer, that's right, garbage bags, $4.99. Don't forget about Toro lawnmowers, $2.99.
Oh my God, I remember
That's
so
great. I've
bad.
never heard that song.
That was so bad.
That is
so
awesome.
yeah, so that was little Paul Peterson. You were there.
Going down to the lake. Remember when we went down to the lake in Broadway with Prince driving the car?
Yeah.
Hot summer play, the windows down, and we were driving past people, and they'd probably be like, "Look, that was Prince." Oh,
Yeah,
that was.
I remember.
that's crazy.
So that brings us to the next song, "Stand Up and Be Strong."
There we go.
And I know we're running tight on time, but that's what we'll work through it.
I'm trying to stay awake.
Yes. So we'll go through it quick. Stand Up, Be Strong. We'll talk about this just for a second. Obviously, from Dave Perner's from Soul Asylum, and we already talked about. And Elisa was not very happy with her part. Obviously,
Sorry.
but she killed it. I won't play it, Elisa. I won't play it. Y'all can listen to it. Stand Up, Be Strong. Hey, unless you've accepted it,
Okay.
Yeah, it is. But so basically, I know that's like got to be super, super stressful as far as having to do that and being read out front like that. Anything you want to share on that before we move on to the next song, as far as like what was going through your head when you realized you were going to have to do that? Did he any memories of that at all?
That I wasn't having to do it with a British accent because, you know, it was just nice to have my voice. It was perfect for that song, you know. It was. I was never called on to soulful stuff, although I'm soulful, but I do have this way about my voice that I think is just very, I guess, a clean kind of poppy sounding, sweet voice. So it was a perfect start to the song,
Well, you killed it.
I wanted it to be. It's okay.
Well, you killed it. It was a great track, and you did a phenomenal job. So, all right, next song. Check the Record. A little bit rockier, obviously. Definitely, the lyrics are interesting. I know you know all the lyrics, Shelby. This sounds like drama, but what you gonna do if it makes her happy? Can it be that bad? Like Cheryl said, it might be the most favorite mistake I ever had is how he worded it. For those that don't know, he's referring to Sheryl Crow's song "Favorite Mistake," which is a song that she wrote, inspired by her romance with Eric Clapton in the '90s when she was touring with him. But that's what he's referring to in that. Any memories on this, Shelby?
Wow. Just a lot of singing. That's the best, I don't want to just a lot of singing. And that was a rocky kind of the vibe, it was
one of Liv's favorites. That's what
it sounds like a Liv song for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely got that rock, kind of that vibe to it, So it was interesting to have that with mixed in with the other stuff we were doing, and I'm like, it's just like I'm saying, it's just like a different scene of the musical theater thing that, this always felt like an album like that for me, so it was like another, scene 4. And what is that, of this, what's the best word? I don't know. Morris, help me. Like,
you talking about Check the Record?
Yeah, just the whole album, but just I'm saying
yeah,
that it was song.
It just was it was bananas because again it just spoke to Prince's musical prowess. He could change gears on you, man, like do something like soulful like that. And I loved Check the Record because it just was like it had that Jimi Hendrix kind. It just had a little edge on it. And I remember like when I just like went in there and just like added a lot of the stuff on top of it, especially the machinery stuff. There's like there's this like this thing that goes through, and then just all of the what him and Toe was playing. When you match lines like that, that's like P-Funk. It's like dun dun, and then everything just locks in, and it's just like. To me, when you got a groove like that, then it's over, man. It's like, and then Prince was just in a zone, he just like he was doing his own harmonica, just like all of his things, And I think some of that stuff I had just imagined that's what he was going to do, like I'm going to put this in right here, but I may just get the harmonica dude to just knock that out. But then it stands on its own. He can do it, and it's like you don't got to get nobody to do it. It's already cool like it is. Wow. And it's just like he's just doing his thing, and it's just like I'm like, man, this is so dope, And for me, it was just fun, just like finding sounds like, to put on top. And I remember when we did this song Endorphin Machine, I used some of the same samples that I used in Endorphin Machine, like the rising guitar. That's like a Steve Stevens guitar thing, like a like all of that stuff.
Nice.
That just was like a lot of the stuff I just pulled from the 90s and just like dropped it right on top of there, because Prince was good for that too, just kind of recycling some samples. And I said, this would be a perfect song for that. But get to this next one, because the next one, man, is crazy, man.
Well, shout out to Chris Collins that's in the building. Congratulations, Vince.
I was gonna say, hey Chris, hey nephew.
Hey, Chris.
Congratulations. I saw that announcement about spring 2027. That's going to be coming real fast. It's going to be coming
Chris.
real fast.
I can't wait.
All right, Shelby. I know you're really, really tired, so we should probably get this one. Definitely want to get this one out of the way, which is good because it's the next one. Same page, different book.
Man, listen, that's
All
a
right.
pop.
Yeah, let's talk about this rap. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
I see Roy shaking his head. Shelby, I'm gonna let you do
It's
the
a bop
talking.
there,
'cause
man.
you're-
That's a bop.
Yeah, man, I really, what he's talking about, it's like with all the different religions, and I was just telling somebody in an interview with me being Southern Baptist, and Prince was, Jehovah's Witness. He wasn't always Jehovah's Witness. He respected so many different religions and different things, and understanding that it's the same, is that we might have a different book. You might have the Quran, I might have the Bible, but it's really all about love. When it comes down to it, we have so much more in common. Just those lyrics, man, just really hit. And that was such a fun song. Some songs are just like you're dancing while you're like singing it. And that was just one of those where it was like, man, I'm like, this is tight. Then he left that space and he was like, yeah, I want you to put an 8 there, put some bars there. And I was like, all right. And so I just went out in the hallway, started writing different stuff, and he in my ear, he was like, this gonna be your house. This gonna be your house right here. But yeah, I just like that he trusted me with that. He didn't like edit. He didn't want to see it and be like, no. He just let me do my thing.
Yeah.
And that was what was up. And I just got in there and I flowed with it,
And 12 thing to me, it was another part of this song that was just
Woo!
stupid. I mean, he just told her every time we get to that break, do your little tricks.
Yeah,
do your little thing, whatever that is. Just and then every lick she hit some bananas that was in there that was like, oh my God, this girl is like, but she's crazy. She is crazy. And it just was like was such a groove. I just remember just listening to it, just going like, this dude, man. The girl's got thing different, but it just was so the album just had these. It was like a roller coaster ride. You up, you down, you serious, you playful. Hot Summer was fun. I even went and just like. When I first kind of started working at Paisley, I was like, driving the van, but they let me play on some stuff that the Time did called Shake, and that they did in the Shake. And so there's this organ, like this little cheesy organ, like the surfer organ, like like the Beach Boys kind of surfer organ. And I said, man, this reminds me of this. And I went back and grabbed that little surfer organ from like Shake. And just replayed that on top of this song and just gave it that little digga digga dig digga digga dig, and just like it just was happy and just the way the album just flowed like that, up and down, whimsical, serious. It's just like life. It's just like, dude, that's how life is. It's just like sometimes we happy, sometimes we got to say some serious stuff, and we got to be like, this is what it is. And it's just like that's the kind of balance that this kind of record it had to me, like that it was, it just kind of went through those different emotions.
Yeah, and then you put the word out, and then double back and be like, that's right, I said it, it's said, like
said
let
it,
us know.
said.
Awesome.
And as the kids will say now, 10 toes down, like standing on business.
Right, that's right.
That
And we
Love
said
hearing you do
all
this
the
today.
time. That's
Yeah.
right. I said it. It's said. We kept saying
Right.
it.
Yeah.
It was a hook.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you killed it like always. You never ever fail to deliver. Which brings us to the next song, When She Comes. Is it true that Prince would not let you hear this song?
Yes.
And remember we sang some stuff at first a little bit, and then it was like, he didn't, it was just, he was like, no.
Go home. Go home.
Go home.
Leave. Come back tomorrow.
Come back. Go on to the country in the suites. Go on down there.
Karaoke.
Yeah, go play with your raccoon.
Yeah.
And go
But
back.
I heard it and I told him, I said, bro, this here's old Prince here, partner. We going back get the butter from the duck, baby. I said, come on. And they're gonna kick you out over there, but that's what you doing it, baby. Come on, man. But then I told him, I said, Prince, I'm telling you, I said it's so good. I said Prince is so good, man. I don't want to settle it with my little mess, with my little raggedy strings. I said, call the man, ain't B. That's what I always would say to Prince when I'm like, call the man. And I just
Yeah.
say, this is Claire Fisher all day. Call the man ain't beat. I said, this
Yeah.
song is beautiful, man. It's just, you got to get Claire to do this. He said, yeah. He said, yeah. So, yeah. Get
Yeah,
him to
he
do that.
didn't though, which is kind of
Well,
strange.
because he just kind of tabled it, once he put the,
Yeah.
once he put the, and that's what, see, if they had brought me in down there and said, Mars, what would you do? And I said, man, call the man, AB, call Claire Fisher, Brent Fisher, and
Oh, my
put
cheeks
them
hurt.
strings,
I know.
get them on them strings and do this like he would have did it. Claire never let him down. It just like always, everything that came from over there was crazy. And that song would have been just one
Don't
of
do
like
it.
Damn You or like any one of them classics that he did like that. It's just like, I'm sorry, man, but that track was so crazy. I just was like, it's bananas. And I told him, I said, but man, bro,
Yeah,
that's why
so
you eat
sexy
man.
and vulnerable. I think he was a little like, I don't want
Or
to.
it seems like sisters to be around.
Yeah, and then like
Right.
he's singing it in front of like go
It's
go.
two
I don't
racy
want-
girls. I just don't want to hear y'all hear the side of me right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I've heard that story before that he does not. Sometimes when he's singing, he doesn't want anybody in there. It's very.
Oh, no.
I mean, I know Susan Rogers said that a lot too. It's just like it was very rare to,
Yeah.
have him be like that because he just, especially when it came to songs like this, where it's like, or when he's getting really, really into it, he's like, doesn't want anybody around.
And I think that was it because when I first got there, I was in the honeymoon phase, and I remember he would let me sit in the studio while he was cutting vocals, and I'd be looking at him, and because when he's in there, because he's got a mic in the booth, like in the studio, he's not out in the thing out there. He's cutting in there with the control in the control room, and so he's got a mic over the board. He's like punching his own tracks and and he's tapping and he's sitting in a chair, and this dude is like making faces, and I'm like, oh snap, he be getting into it, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I think he kind of let me hang for a minute, and then after a while, it's like, hey, Morris, Oprah's on. Bye-bye. And because I told Levi, I said, yeah, man, I'm in there. He's cutting. He's like, he's cutting vocals, and he said, you let you stay in there. I said, yeah, I was in there. He was cool. Next thing I know, like, get your ass out. Head on out, bro.
Yeah, I as a vocalist, I can tell you that's a thing because there's sometimes obviously when you're performing, you can really, really go at it. But when you're doing things like some of the things that he does with a lot of the screaming and things just really, really emotional, you can get to that stuff live. But when you're in the studio, it's like,
well,
yeah,
it's weird because you don't hear the music. All you hear is
Right,
him
yeah.
at the board.
Oh yeah,
And it's like,
that too. I guess, yeah,
but
that's out of it.
some guttural moans and like in his head, he got the whole thing going. But it's just like when this is a very funny meme, like a video that's on Insta when they showing the girls in the studio and they got all the music going, and then they play what it sounds like, just the voice, and it be toe up.
Yeah.
Not that Prince sang bad, but it's a really weird thing when, like I said, when that's all you're hearing is the vocal. Because you can't have music playing in the studio while you're in there cutting, because of course you'd hear all of that music like bleeding into the track. So all you hear is him. And so if he doing like all of this, yeah, that's just like, no, bro, I don't need you to hear all that. You hear the finished thing with the music on it and all of the things. But it's really a kind of a personal feel like thing. It's like my space,
Personal
and
space,
I need
yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I need to like get in here and feel it like this and be it. That's why I love like Prince and Michael Jackson was always to me the dopest when it came, like Stevie. When it came to that kind of stuff, is because Mike, man, would be in there dancing. They had to always try to get him to stop dancing because you can hear all that ping ping, all the bracelets and shit. Because he in there doing, he already know what he about to be doing when he get on the stage. It's like, nigga, I'm finna do the split. And then when this come through, and so he feeling that. And so Prince, I would watch his feet and his boots would be clicking on the floor. And you can hear that in the track when you like solo, like sometimes I hear like click, 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 because he's got his tempo and he's doing the thing, like early on when I said, man, this dude, this is crazy, man. But yeah, I think that was kind of the move, but
Yeah.
that was something else. I'll let you keep rolling, bro.
All right, 10-10, Rin 10-10.
Oh man, where'd that come from?
Let me just say,
Yeah.
I tried to read the lyrics of this, and try to wrap my head around what he was saying. And I'm not exactly sure. I know there was like a lot of different speculations about what he was referring to. I know that they referred to in 2017, there was an exhibit, My Name is Prince, that they did at the O2 in London. And the lyrics for this song were there. And it said, if you ask the Lone Ranger, Rin Tin Tin, and it said 1010 in parentheses, I guess maybe 1010 being shorthand for Rin Tin Tin. Anyways, maybe it's half of 2020. But also in that display, the L in Lone Ranger was corrected from a B. So it used to say Bone Ranger, which, from 18 and over, the song 18 and over that he refers to. So you've written down these lyrics before. Do you have, Shelby, you have any idea what he was? Yeah. The only thing I can get to,
and you know what? I know that's such as just for me to go, no, but that's the most honest answer that I can give you, because I would just be guessing and I don't, in his mind and what he, as a writer, that's a very personal thing, so he knew what he was trying. That would be a question I wish we could ask him exactly, like what he was trying to get across, to what he meant by it. I would just be guessing. Some stuff I know because he might have told me, but that I don't. So
the only thing he refers to that I know that you've spoke to before was that a couple of times he says best to be like water, and I know that was something that he said frequently.
Yeah, he would tell me that a lot. Like, just flow. Like, you don't always have to know everything, because I'm a Virgo. I can be a little OCD. I'm like, Lisa can tell you. I'm like, and like a little general. But he'd be like, hey, be like water. Just learn to there's nothing wrong with being that way, because that helps too. That has its pluses and everything, being organized and on time, all that kind of stuff. But then the other side to that is learn to flow with life. And when things don't go exactly at 4:16 and 4:17, and life throws you a curveball, and you have to just pivot and really be like water, and basically just kind of relax and calm down a little bit and just enjoy the ride. And I'm still learning to do that, but he definitely would talk and say that a lot.
Yeah, because my takeaways, not that it doesn't hold as much weight as yours, obviously, was Rin Tin Tin was a German Shepherd dog from the silver screen in the 1920s or somewhere around that era, but he was like a famous dog who helped save the lives like a lot of soldiers back then. And then the show was brought back in the 50s as The Adventures of Rin Tin Tin, but it was like a Western thing of that. Anyways, and The Lone Ranger was an entirely different show. So two different shows that were of heroes that are now gone. So my takeaway, I kind of felt like the only thing I can come around to is like The Lone Ranger and Rin Tin Tin are long gone, and we will be too. So we need to do what you can while you're here.
Yeah, and if
flow
the
like
rock
water,
falls,
just be and
like,
not.
Yeah, and whatever comes down, like water will find a way. Always. Water always finds a way. Rocks there, it goes around it. If there's a hole there, it goes down. So water always finds a way, and it's one of the strongest things on the planet too. It can make its way. Enough water, one little drip over and over again can make a hole in a boulder. So
carve mountains. It can do all the things,
and
that's it's college courses that's on Prince lyrics, and just like on what people can pontificate from now until the aliens return.
That part
to what it probably meant, and it could be any number of things, and it's always funny when you get these people that try to make these assessments about what they think they know about a lot of that stuff. It's just like, bro, it's really like Shell said, it's in Prince's head. He knows what it is, and it's a cool thing, I think, for him to have people just try to pontificate about it and think about what that could mean and what this means. He was very clever like that. He was very clever about how he wrote lyrics. He told me that was his, when I asked him what's the thing he did best, And he did that little thing he does. He says, at the end of the day, I'm a songwriter. I'm a poet.
Yeah. It's
And
kind of
that,
like
you know,
when you said that, Morris, it's kind of like when, and I go back to the art, when it's in the eye of the person looking at it. So different people can look at a painting, right? And it's what you see in
Right.
that. So with the songs, it's like what from your life experience, from your vision, from how it's what you're gonna feel from that art. So different people take different things from it.
And I think that's great, because it just may happen that, it helps you kind of figure a thing for your own situation. And it
Right.
could mean, because once you define it, then that just takes away whatever somebody else thought it was supposed to be and what
Right.
it meant to them.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, well, I thought it meant this. But if that helped you, if that
Yeah.
inspired you, and if that then he did what he needed to do with regard to
Right.
this art. It's
Yeah.
like he gave you a path, and then you took it and you thought about it and you put it in your own situation and you trudged it out, and that's what it ended up meaning to. I like it that way. I think
I
it's
like
like
it that way
everything.
too.
People ask me, what does Purple Rain mean? I'm like, hell, I don't know. like what I look like. You got to call the man, AB. Call the man. I don't know, but I love it. I love
love
how it makes me feel. I
Yeah.
love when I play it. All of the things, I feel the feels. I feel it's triumphant. It's like a
Yeah.
thing, in the end, and it's big, and it's so I'm cool with that. I don't have to know what it exactly means, and because there was a ton of stuff from Prince. I don't know what he was talking about but I loved it. I love to play it, and all of the things, but. It's not for everybody to always have to understand, but I guess it will give some people something to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Only 2 more
Yeah.
songs.
Okay.
Yay.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all we did, right?
Yeah, remember how long the note was at
Oh,
the end and how many
Yes,
times?
that was the one thing that I wanted to ask you about this song. First off, it's track number 11 of 12. Nothing to do with the family song. Yes. It's not related to I Know. Yes. It's not or positivity or any of that stuff. It's totally different. But yeah, you guys do a lot of vocal work in here, especially at the end there.
This was a
That
test.
I'm trying to remember exactly where it's at. It's a lot.
Yes, a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a
Yeah,
lot.
Yeah.
So I guess the story that I heard was that he asked you guys to do this, and when you said it just can't be done. Why don't you tell the story of what happened then?
Oh, didn't he do it?
Well, it was the really long. There was a long one. I just
note.
remember that really long note, and he was like, "Yes, you can." Like basically, I know no pun intended, but it was just like a challenge for us because if we're doing it around one mic, so it's like we all have to get it right.
Right.
So it's like there were times where I would run out of breath, or there was
Did it a
times
couple
where we would
times.
run out of breath. So we had to get a take where we all did it, and that took some time.
So you saying this was your version of A Lovely Day? You had to do
Pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And he didn't want us to breathe. He was like, no breath, no breath,
No breath.
no
Oh,
breath.
yeah, that's right.
I'm like, but that's that pushing you to out of your comfort zone for
You
you.
did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't think you can do it, and then he shows you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember thinking like I just have to concentrate and just pretend that the note, and I still do this today when I teach voice, when I teach in Vegas, is taking the note and pretending the note is going down this really long, narrow, hallway. And I just was like, just only let a little bit of air out the whole way down, and so you can hold it all the way to the end of that hall.
Yeah.
And I had to visualize the note in order to hold it that long.
Yeah, and then there's the fluctuation of the yeah. So that, woo, honey, kudos to us.
Slow back.
You guys killed it. You guys killed it. All right, last song. We made it.
I made it.
One day we will all be free of this album chat. The obligatory human rights song that seemed to always find itself on Prince's albums. I haven't gone through every one of his albums with this hypothesis, but I feel like every album that I can think of has a song like this on it. Again, it's that template from every amazing artist, from Mayfield to Gaye, the Temptations to Michael Jackson to whoever. I mean, it's just, and the world's a better place for it. It is the final track on there. And there's not even any dates on when this song was recorded, which was kind of a little bit unusual, but what a fantastic song. Any thoughts? I mean, how do you feel of this song as a closer for this album?
Me personally, I think it's like the perfect period on a sentence or exclamation point on a, it's boom. There it is.
End of the record.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so Morris, after you guys settle on the track list and you're closing with this and you step back and you look at it as a finished work of art, what are your closing thoughts on the album in general?
My thoughts about this, I'm just happy that once again people got to see the unmitigated genius of Prince in terms of being able to basically see the future. Once again, the things that he talked about on this record 10 years, 15 years later resonate.
Yep.
What he was talking about is in play when it came out 5 years ago. If it had came out today, it would have still been talking about what we're talking about today. Prince was always ahead of his time, always forward thinking, always just in a whole nother zone that most people wouldn't even be in. And so I'm just personally, man, proud to have the opportunity to have worked on that project, man, and even more proud that he let me kind of co-produce and mess with it the way that he did, and that he put his trust in me to like take it home and work on it, man. So I'm forever grateful for the state for like calling me up and say, man, we're gonna put this out and do that. That was just like, bro, that's like such a thrill, it's such an honor. So I'm glad it came out. I think it's a great record, and I'm just happy about it. That's all I can say.
Well, let me just say, I can't thank you guys enough for walking through this album with me. Obviously, we could have gone into a lot more detail, but that would have taken forever. But I did want to have. I know, but I wanted to have the opportunity to be able to spend a little time with you guys because, it's the 5-year anniversary of this album, which is crazy to me. In 2 days, not specifically today. If you guys missed any part of this show, you can obviously go to Spotify, iHeartRadio, Odyssey, Apple Music, wherever you listen to your podcast, and you can check it out. Also, it's just, it will be in here in perpetuity, I guess, on Facebook and YouTube and whatever else. But I can't thank you guys enough for the hard work that you've put into this album and just you're amazing. Thank you for sharing your amazing talent with us for this album. It's just such a really, really great work. I wish that it would have gotten a little more up. I read somewhere that it hit number 3 on the charts. I was like, why didn't we hear anything on the radio? It's like, damn you, Billie Eilish. I don't know what. I wish we could have heard more. I think it would have done a lot more, but I just don't think they had the marketing to push it the way that they needed to push it to really get it on the radio. But I don't think the radio is built for artists like him anymore. Anyway,
man, I did a gang of press for this record, like one of the biggest, and I've done press for albums before. Never had I done press like I did for this album.
Yeah,
and so there was no lack, I think, of coverage for the press part and the push part from the record label. I just think radio is different now. I think
I did Rolling Stone. Gang.
Same.
Every other day I was doing interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just about kind of where we are as a society. And I think that's very telling. But this is the medicine that we need. And this album is a roadmap. And I think that by talking about it now like I say, music, it ain't milk, it don't expire. So people now can start listening to this record now, and things can grow after, just because it didn't grow and be played everywhere now, that can still happen. It can happen this year, it could happen 10 years from now, because everything he's saying it will be as relevant then as it is now.
Yeah. Every single bit. I mean, Morris has already said it a couple of times. It was just as relevant as it was 16 years ago, as it was 5 years ago, as it is today. If you guys have not had an opportunity to listen to Welcome to America, the album in its entirety, head to Spotify and check it out. Or if you can find a copy somewhere, please do. I don't think I've ever seen it out in the open. I've been to a lot of record stores and I've never seen the actual CD copy, but it's out there on Spotify and whatnot. So please make sure you do that. Before all of you go, Shelby, we'll start with you. Tell people what you're up to and where they can see you right now and how they can support you right now.
Well, what I'm up to now is I'm about to sleep because I have been country hopping. I was in 7 countries in 5 days with my sister Candy Delfer, just having a blast. But they can follow me on my social media, which is at The Real Shelby J. All of my links are there. My Instagram and my link tree go up to the bio. You can click there. It'll take you to my band Zoogle. You can see everything I'm doing, from the shows I'm doing to the new music that I'm putting out exclusively there, to videos that are going to be coming out there. I've got a new song that I did with Phil Lassiter. Pino Palladino is on it. We've got Calvin Rogers on it. Russ Elevato mixed it and mastered it, and it's called Sweat. It's going to be coming out around September, around my birthday. Yay. So we're continuing to I'm just going to continue to make good music and get it out to the people and get ready for the worldwide distribution of See You Again. You'll be able to stream it and do everything you want to do in a couple of weeks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna let you go as you guys tell me what you're doing, because girl, you need to get some rest.
Get some sleep.
We love you, Shelby. We love you.
I love you guys. Lisa, I love you. You got a blanket coming. I ain't forgot. I got half of it done. I got you. Morris, I love you.
You too, Shel.
Thank you for all that you do to keep the legacy alive and keeping us all together and bringing the family and keeping it tight. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And for supporting all of us too.
Absolutely. All day,
bye.
Every day. Bye, Shelby. Go sleep.
I'm going to sleep.
All right, Alisa, you're next. Tell people where people can find you and how we can
support. Well, tomorrow night we'll be playing with St. Paul and Minneapolis Funk All Stars.
Nice.
Excelsior, we're doing a show. We're actually opening up for Sheila E. on August 15th, I believe, in Temecula. We're doing a show there.
You're muted.
So we're just muted?
No, you're not muted.
Am I?
Oh, I can't hear her.
Oh.
That's weird.
Talking. So yeah.
I can hear you. People in the chat room, you can hear her too, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So yeah, a lot of shows coming up with St. Paul and Minneapolis Funk All Stars. I'm continually putting out music. Now I might try to go the other avenue and call Shelby and see how she did it. Working with Purple Playground. Tomorrow I'm actually going to bring up the Welcome to America album and have them listen to some stuff. Today we actually had John Bream there, who was a guy that did all the interviews. In Minnesota.
You know John.
Oh, you know him. And we played
troublemaker, dude.
Yeah, played a bunch of guitar solos, bandy, trying to teach these kids about Prince and about just how to produce and how to write music. And we were talking about albums, like how important it is to have an album and not just a single, and have like this full-on creation of, who you are as an artist. Like speak an album, don't just speak single. So it's been a really beautiful experience paying it forward and, sharing what I learned from Prince. So that's kind of what we're doing. And then I have a show October 28th in Vegas at the Italian American Club. It's the Purple Tapestry, Alisa Fiorillo and her Purple Tapestry. And I'm writing a book. I'm almost done. It's called The Purple Tapestry. And I'm going to be putting it out. I'm going to do it on Amazon, and I'm putting it out by myself. No publisher, just putting it out.
Nice. Congratulations. I can't wait to read it.
But all the tapestry and all the stuff happened. So Yeah.
Well, you guys heard her. Make sure you get out there and do all those things. That Purple Tapestry thing is until September, though, isn't it? Or is it?
That's
Or-
October 8th. That's
Okay.
big. Yeah.
Well, we're going to look forward to it. Lisa, thank you so much for joining us.
Bye, Mars. Bye.
Bye. All right, Morris, you're up.
Hey, man. A few things. Number one, I have an artist, Maya Santiago. We just actually a couple of days ago released an EP called Foreigner.
Mhm.
That's out now. It's on the platform Spotify, all the different platforms. That's out now. So go check that out. I have a concert coming up in October 27th, Detroit, Michigan. I'll put all of this up. Bald House Playhouse. I'll get the name right, and I'll look it up. I'm terrible with this kind of stuff, but I'll get that together. My website will be back up. I think tomorrow. I got my guy working on it. I've changed some things on the site, and it should be operational by tomorrow. So I have all of the details of that coming up with Mackenzie and Tony there in Detroit. It's going to be like a kind of like a broken down version of what's happening. So that's going to be coming up. I have Maya McLean that we worked on a record that she has called The Awakening. That's going to be coming out soon. We're working on some details on that. That's going to be coming out. And then I have Barcelona coming up next year early and London coming up for some masterclass stuff and some shows. Another show in Barcelona, maybe a masterclass there. So in February. So,
Man, you guys are being busy.
man, we're trying to make it work and
Yeah,
do
I
some
guess
cool
so.
things, man. And there's a few other artists that I'm looking at messing with and doing some things with. So we just wanna. And then not to mention my brothers with the former MPG guys that I still work with. We hopefully there'll be some more things coming. But hey, we trying to stick and move, man. Trying to do what we can.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and hanging out and telling us all the stories and getting everybody up to date. Brother, it's always an honor to have you in the house, man, for real.
Always a
And
pleasure. Always a
Thank
pleasure.
you for I mean, you've been coming on the show for years, man, and I appreciate you. Whenever you have the opportunity, you do it, and I appreciate that.
Well,
brother.
I'd love to come back on and talk to you about what some of that stuff that's coming up. We'll be promoting that, so maybe we can come do your thing then. If you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, just send me a text. Let's do it.
All right, brother. Thank you, everybody, for
right.
checking in with us too.
Again, Mr. Hayes. All right, there you go. That was the album chat for Welcome to America, which again is the I was going to put myself up here. I'll put myself up. All right, I'll figure out a way to kind of do this right. I'm going to move myself around and just play around and just see where I can put myself. There you go. I wanted to try to get my image up here, but not keep the Welcome to America thing going on. Anyways, so that was the Welcome to America album chat. We still got one more thing to do. Obviously, I know some of the Patreon supporters. For those that don't know, we're closing with this. For those that don't know, we have a radio station called Funked Up. And obviously all this costs money. StreamYard itself costs, almost $100 a month for the version that we have. And then of course you have all it's just a lot of fees and a lot of things. And we have a radio station that is ASCAP licensed and global music rights licensed. And it's very, very expensive to do it. And the only way that we can actually keep that stuff online is through supporters through Patreon, patreon.com/Funkatopia. And obviously, I wanted to do something special for Patreon supporters, and I wanted to do something special for them every single month. I can't get so free with, sending files and stuff like I used to do with you guys, just, trying to play by the rules and just but I'm like, what do I do? And of course, you can see I've got tons of stuff here. I can't take it with me. So I just started pulling stuff out and just said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start every month. I'm going to do a giveaway of print stuff. And this month it was 2 books. This is the first month we're doing it. This month it was 2 books. One from Steve Park's brand new book, Prince Black, White, Color. He was just on the show a couple of weeks ago when we went through this. We didn't go through every single page, but man, this thing is a monster. It is a monster album or book. It's pretty phenomenal, and it's beautiful. It's got so many photos, so many things that you have not seen before. Just unreal. And of course, it's black, white, and there's also color photos in the back. And as the piece de resistance, a collector's edition, Emancipation Words and Pictures. It's a really cool tour-like book that has a bunch of artwork and lyrics and stuff in it. It's work from Steve Park, Jeff Katz, Nicole, Randy St. Nicholas. Very, very cool. And one winner is going to get that. If you're a Patreon supporter, your name is in here. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do anything extra. Your name is in here. I will tell you that like the highest level of supporter that we have is called board of directors. So they get a certain amount of entries into here, and but every supporter gets a certain amount of entries. And I indicated exactly how that was shaking out earlier. And essentially what we got here is a very, very, very big wheel of names that's got a ton of names on it. Obviously, you got all these names that are in here. Some of you that are Patreon supporters did not put your full name. Like I know that M is in here. So if your name is not in here, like a regular name, and you happen to win, I will reach out to you via email. But what we're going to be doing, I just want to make this as random as possible. What we're going to be doing is just spinning the wheel. This is as random as it can possibly get with this wheel of names here. And I was going to go ahead and click it, and whoever it lands on wins. So good luck. And I don't even know if there's any sound to this or not. I think that there is. I think there's a clicking sound to it, but we've done this before. Here we go. All right. You guys waited? Here it is. Oh, look, there is sound. How about that? Who will be the winner? Joni Tails. All right. Got an OG in the house. It's the winner. Joni Tails, you won the Steve Park book, and you also won the you won both of these. You won both the books are going to be sent to you. So enjoy. I will make sure that I reach out to you and get your address. Now, what's next week's? Well, next week's, are we still here? I guess hopefully you guys can still see me. I will see, because I just put down this book. I literally just put down this book, and then I literally put down the book, and then everything went off. What's next week? Next week, guess what? We have these two things are not next week. Next month, the giveaways. Sorry, this is confusing me. Let me switch over here to this. Because me not being able to see myself that's All right. Can you guys hear me now? Oh my gosh. Don't talk on it. All right. So no audio. You guys can hear me now though, right? Oh, okay. I see that Joni says she actually has both those items, even though she won. Are you guys still not hearing me? Okay, you guys can hear me now. Okay, good. All right. So again, Joni just said that she already has both these items and that she wants me to respin the wheel. Okay, we'll do that. So we're going to go ahead and respin the wheel for this and give it another shot. All right, let me pull up this thing and we'll respin it one more time. Apologies. See, this is one of the things that I discussed before, that when you go and you do live shows, you never know what's going to happen. Audio will go out. I don't have a producer or an engineer sitting in the corner helping me out with this stuff. It's the reality of my life. All right. Joni says she already has both these items, so she wants me to go ahead and spin. So we're going to spin. Here we go. Let's see what it says. The new winner is Rico Curry. Rico Curry, you are another OG. You will have, I'll reach out to you and we'll make sure that we get your address and whatnot and take it from there. All right. As I said, I don't know what you heard and what you didn't hear. Next month, I will be doing a giveaway for the Prince Piano on a Microphone box set. This is going to be next month. And I'm also throwing in this 45 of Welcome to America, along with that live version of Welcome to America and Dreamer that's on the backside of this. It is sealed. It is a collector's edition. That is what we're going to be giving away next month. If you want to be a member, you can go to patreon.com/Funkatopia, patreon.com/Funkatopia, and you will be automatically entered. All you got to do is just be in the mix and you'll get entered. The higher the level, the more entries that you have. You can also buy additional entries as well if you'd like. If you see something that you really want, like if you really want this, these things are not too easy to find. You can also do one-time donations via Venmo at Funkatopia or Cash App $Funkatopia. Either one, you can get additional ones, or you could temporarily move up in your Patreon membership to get more entries as well. And of course, when you do that, you also get all the extra stuff. I don't remove things every single month, so anything that I've ever put up for like the highest level is all there. Everything, it's just the reality of it. So, anyways, I hope you guys had a really, really good time. Next week, please join us again on Tuesday. Michael Bland will be out. Again, he's doing the rehearsal with Soul Asylum for their acoustic show up there. But next week, I will be welcoming the one, the only, the legendary Andre Simone will be with me on next Tuesday. So come sit down with myself and Andre Simone as we talk about his brand new album called The Resurrection of Funk. That is coming. Andre Simone and myself will be here next week. I hope you guys will be too. And that's it. Good night, everyone. I hope you had a good time. We shall see you next Tuesday with Andre Simone. Thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you once again to Morris Hayes and Elisa Fiorillo and Shelby J for joining us. And we'll talk to you next week. All right. Adios, amigos y amigas.